Which is why I
Very-
stopped and started recording again because we haven't started yet. Do we
All
want
right,
to
let's
actually get this started?
start.
Are you
Yeah.
telling me you haven't been recording all this comedy gold? Shame.
I did record.
Pretty funny.
I did record all that comedy gold. I did start and stop stop and start a new recording just now, but I barely cut anything out.
So it's recording right now.
It is recording right now. Yes.
All right,
Hello.
let's go.
Let's
go.
All right.
Hello,
After taking what
Twitch.tv.
feels like a month to get back into this, we are
Probably
now.
was.
It was a month,
Wasn't it a
wasn't it?
month?
Probably. I mean, like I said, I felt like it. Let me. I can look at my uploaded first video, but in the
Probably.
meantime,
Who cares? It's case 4 of Apollo Justice.
Yeah.
Turnabout Succession.
The best case.
Let me just
Nah.
preface everything by saying I have played Apollo Justice now.
yeah, we
Again.
took so long to get back to this. Tom played through the entire game.
I played through it again
I could have
I literally
rewatched
started-
the entire game.
and played it, and I enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. I thought
Apollo
Case
Justice
One,
is a good
Case
game.
One was pretty similar to how I felt. Just originally, it's just a solid case. Case Two, I actually like Case Two a lot. And something I would like to, just say, I think Emma wasn't as annoying as I remembered her. I think I remembered her to be a lot more annoying. But I mean, she's still like the chewing thing was kind of weird. But other than that, like she was,
She's a stress eater. Come on.
yeah.
That's
Oh,
for
God.
the fetish people.
I was
obviously.
using the chewing thing to my advantage/disadvantage when we were doing the voices. Remember, Joseph?
Oh yeah, because you were chewing in real life, and I'm like, Con, this game actually makes this sound effect.
Wahoo.
No, I was like doing Foley by munching Oreos.
Yeah, right. You were in character. It was your method acting.
So, Tom, continue.
Yeah, so I liked the defendant in Case 2. I thought Wadi Kataki, pretty good guy. Pretty funny. Love to see him die.
Wait,
Case
what?
3.
Wait a minute.
Case 3, the thing about it is that it's obviously not a great case, but I don't know how to. Well, no, I do know how to explain it.
Case 3 has a lot of really cool things going for it, and it kind of just they aren't super well.
Let's see
put
how
together.
Tom phrases his opinion. It could be
So
totally
I
different.
actually think the characters in it are not that bad. I think Lamar is pretty cool. I think Machi Tobias is not bad. Not bad. I mean, we didn't get to see much of him, but
I think he's kind of wasted potential a bit.
yeah, I think all of these are kind of wasted potential. Darian, the murderer, horrible. Didn't like him. Clavier, I like having to
I mean,
interact
he was
with
neat
him.
at first.
What's up?
He was neat at first, but then he
I
kind
guess,
of
yeah.
kept talking to him. And it's like,
Yeah. So I think the characters weren't like that bad. They weren't annoying like characters in like other cases that I hate more. Like they didn't really grate on me except maybe Darian. I think the thing that pissed me off about the case is just like it's so fucking like in all the other cases in like Ace Attorney, they're like very well structured like plots and like murder setups. Like you know exactly how it is done, you know exactly what happens, and like it makes sense. But in this, like you're like, wait, what happened still? Like how the fuck did the Valent guy turn into the woman and then she fucking rise up and it's just the whole thing.
not even everything
so-
was explained either.
everything was not explained very well.
It was a mess.
I mean, like, there's like a lot of shit by the end of the case we still don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So case 3 kind of yucky, but I mean, case 3 is actually where I spent my longest time on the game because like I just didn't really feel intrigued enough by it to like want to go back to playing the game.
You were just crawling through it, right?
Basically, yeah. And I was like, I'll guess I'll get some of this out of the way.
That's sort of similar to my experience with Big Top. And the only reason I didn't experience it with this one is because we were just laughing our ass off to it and making voices and shit with Joseph.
And,
Mhm.
Or if not both of us laughing, Con laughing at me going insane.
Yeah. Or me going insane for how stupid the
Yeah,
case
or
is.
Con going insane and me laughing deliriously at, yes, someone else gets it. But Tom, what you said about you crawling through this case, for a couple of YouTubers I watched, mentioned how he had like
Actually,
friends that
I'm
were
pretty
playing
sure
through.
you're the one who said the word crawling, but go on.
Oh
No.
yeah, no, okay, yeah, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. But anyways, there is this one YouTuber who played through like the entire sorry, let me restart. He had a friend and his wife who were playing through Ace Attorney games together, and when they got to Case 3 in Apollo Justice, they just could not like motivate themselves to play it to the point where the YouTuber himself played through the second half of Trials and Tribulations and all of Apollo Justice before the couple finished Case 3.
That sounds about right.
Like it just just like you're done, just fucking
Yeah,
done.
like I would have finished the game a lot earlier because I mean not to spoil anything, but Case 4, not that bad.
I mean, we're about to talk about it, so you say whatever you
Played
want.
it or watched it. So I don't think you need to spoil anything. You don't have to worry about that.
I'm spoiling my opinion.
I see. I
Well,
mean,
Tom,
You guys are very interested in this.
I kind of agree with you. I'd say.
Well, Tom, you say not that bad. Is that an underplay of how you actually feel, or at this point, are you actually at the point where it's like it's not?
I'm
that
not
bad?
gonna reveal. I'm not gonna reveal too much, just because
Okay.
I know like a lot of fans are really just waiting to hear what I thought about it.
Oh yeah, we need Tom's opinion.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
I bet the fans
They've
are
been waiting
eager to
1
hear what
month
I have
for
to
it.
say about Case 4. Clearly, my opinion
Oh,
is anticipated.
yeah.
Sub 50
Fans.
viewers.
All
Sub
three of
50
them.
viewers.
You need 3. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
I'm,
well,
I'm sorry.
okay,
Justin.
okay.
I mean,
let's-
the first video has 52 views.
Oh, does it? That's not
It's
bad.
actually kind of a lot.
It's the one with the most views, though.
I'm sure someone might have watched it a couple times. Joseph.
What? Hey, what? No.
Joseph watched it 50 times.
I haven't seen it yet.
Well, I would just say technically it's the first discussion has 52. This Apollo Justice one only has 11. But we
You know
know
what's really weird is that our Trials and
Ooh.
Tribulations discussion, part 1, 7 views. Part 2 has 21 views. Who the
Yo.
hell watched only part 2? What
Dude,
the
that's
hell?
so weird. I think you got to get a better thumbnail artist. I think I haven't
Okay.
seen the
I agree.
for either of them, but
That's the only one with an
I
actual, like, thumbnail art.
I haven't seen any of the thumbnails. But
Joseph, maybe I could do the
Gotta have, like,
thumbnails
some
like I do the
clickbait guys.
Super Mario Brothers thumbnails.
well,
you
how
know?
would you do the self thumbnails? I guess without us? Question mark. Most of the
Pictures, I
thumbnails.
guess?
The thumbnails for the videos
it's
are
like
basically
big red circles and like arrows.
The
Like
thumbnails for the
what
videos are
did you
just the box art for the game.
yeah. As of now, they're all just a box art.
Except for Trials and Tribulations Part 2, which is like, what?
It's the
Hey,
photo of them
thumbnail.
at the picnic, basically.
so. There's a correlation.
But none of them have any comments. What the hell? If you're watching this video, comment on it right now.
Even if you're just disparaging Italians and how much they're terrible, that's fine.
Say anything you want.
Especially,
Just
yeah.
comment on the video.
Racist, homophobic, sexist. I don't care. Just comment.
I don't think you should do what he says.
Like, I'm not saying they should do it, but you were the one who said they should comment whatever they want.
I think
You started saying that before I said to comment whatever you want.
based off my track record of the thumbnails, that you should call my videos out for the clickbait that they are.
True. Like the clickbait of it, just the box art of the game.
It's not the real game.
I
It's a
told you
video.
that's fair
complaint. That's a fair complaint.
All right.
God damn. Okay, I guess now is a good time to actually start talking about Case 4, and I guess
Yeah,
get
Case
started
4.
about what goes on in Case 4.
Woo! Oh god.
Let's talk about the best thing in Case 4. Vera Misham. She's cool. She's awesome. I like her.
Yeah,
she's fine.
perfect.
She's easily, in my opinion, the best defendant. in
She's
the game.
cute. I love her.
Best defendant.
Yeah. Because I definitely like her a lot more than Waki and Machi.
What about Phoenix Wright?
Yeah, what about
Well,
Phoenix?
I don't count him as much as a defendant just because he's the main character otherwise, but also B, I don't really like how Phoenix is in this game. So
Agree.
We
so-
get it. Your fanboy boner is too hard.
He's
It's
just
okay.
depressed. Joseph, come
He's
on.
an assassination.
This
of his
case,
character.
no. Here's the thing, though. This case, I finally get the chance to explain other grievances that actually maybe make more sense to you guys.
Yes,
with
and I will
Phoenix.
explain why it fails from a storytelling perspective.
But none of those problems come in at the beginning of the case. We're set with a relatively tame setup with Phoenix being like, "Ooh, Apollo, you want to test out the first case of the jury system?" And Apollo's like, sure."
Which I don't think we ever see again in later games.
Nope.
We don't.
No, we don't.
Even though it works really well.
In this, I mean, we don't even. Okay, in this case, it works well. We don't know how it would work in other cases at all because we don't get a chance
To
to
be
see
fair,
action.
it's Miri in real
Trial
life.
one.
So
It's the trial.
Well, actually, okay, I say we never see the jury system again, but practically speaking, we see it in the Greatest Attorney games, and
It's not the same though.
it's not the same,
that's
but it's
200
like
years in the past.
you actually see a jury in the Greatest Attorney and the Professor Layton across the Attorney.
Yeah, but in the Greatest Attorney, you actually are like talking to the jury, and in this, it's just like they're in the back. They're
Dude,
like
oh my
in
God,
another room.
hold on.
It's like
They're
you
streaming
are
the-
the jury. You.
They're watching a live stream.
The fucking time when like they mention the jury system and then like
They just look at the camera.
it's taken on video right now and they just
Oh yeah, we have a video of that with.
it's so stupid.
Here, what I have to say about Case 4 is that the Mason system and the jury system was all like interesting. The idea was pretty solid, I think, but it was not executed very well. That's what I'll say about it.
Yeah.
I can understand
I
that.
agree.
Obviously,
I agree, yeah. I think it would have been cool to like have like an actual jury system instead of like there is a jury system, trust me.
Like,
Trust
actually,
Yeah.
imagine how much more interesting the game would be if you had to like also win the approval of the jury on top of everything.
I would have liked that, you know,
Well,
Grace
like,
Attorney-
yeah,
That's
Grey's
what
Attorney
the
is really-
Grey's Attorney does.
Yeah, that's dude. The jury literally interrupts the case and be like, "Yeah, we're done. We are convinced that he's guilty. Fuck you." And then you're like, "Wait, hold on." You have to like convince them on the spot.
Yeah.
So instead of the judge being like, "Go fuck yourself," it's the jury. All
No,
right.
literally,
yeah.
the judge is
But
very
you get
passive.
to
with the Grey's
talk
Attorney.
back against the jury, so it works.
The
Which
best
isn't
part
quite
is-
how it works, but that's okay.
Well, no, not at all. But
Try.
it's fun, so it's fine.
Fair.
Um,
No, I dock it 50 points for realism.
well, in that case, the Attorney series
In this-
is like negative 1,000.
No, I know. That's the joke, Joseph. That's the joke.
Oh boy.
I mean, sorry,
But
Japanifornia is
anyway-
real.
Case 4.
Yeah, we could just talk about Vera in general, since we talked a
I
little
like
bit.
Vera. She's cute. She's funny.
Dude,
I like
Vera
how
is
she
not
draws
like
on her
I
thing.
kind of so does anyone remember Angel Star?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was really cool how many like different fucking food options she has. I think it would have been cooler if like Vera had like, you know, like a bunch of different drawings and like maybe they were a little more detailed. She only
I mean,
has like 5 that she shows.
Okay, I want
I
to find
agree
out. She
with
does technically draw them all on the spot, so it makes sense. Like she's
Yeah,
drawing
so
those
you-
on the spot. Like that,
She
that
draws
makes
a
sense.
stamp.
Counterpoint. What's the anime where it's like the girl that has the little
No, I know what you're talking about. It's the one about like haikus, right?
the haiku girl, but then there's this other character that literally draws
Yeah.
like her face in front of her face to emote instead of just actually emoting.
Oh, I know that one. I know the manga at least.
Oh, actually, you know what?
Uh,
Actually, no, I have read the manga, but I love that anime. It's great. I love that character as well. I
You
wish I
need
knew more of her.
You need later after this. You need to tell me the name because I don't remember. and I
I'm
need
gonna
to
look it
remember.
up, and in the video, I'm gonna edit it in because A, we're talking about her, so I'll put a picture of her, and B, I won't put the name of the anime because I want people to watch it and look up.
It is. It's pretty short too. It's like what
So-
10-minute episodes, I think.
I thought they were longer than that, but I could be misremembering. It's been a little bit.
Damn sure.
I
Probably
got
only like
the
about
manga.
6 hours of runtime. So watch that. Come back here and leave a second comment on what you thought of
In
it.
fact, I'll
Yes.
leave just in case for you. We'll leave 6 hours of dead air in this video, and then you can come back.
Oh
I
yeah.
agree.
Don't even try to.
No, Joseph. Make it 8 hours. Give them some room to breathe.
Oh yeah, they
gotta-
need
we gotta-
bathroom breaks.
we gotta
You're
think
right.
about
You're
it.
right.
Yeah, not just but they need like time to process and like think, like formulate their opinions.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I think just like a 12-hour dead space break in between is
In
the
fact,
best
let's
way.
just cut the video right here, and then the next part they can come back after they watch.
Yeah,
it.
that's a good idea. I agree.
One more month.
No.
Better
Oh,
one
yeah.
that time.
No. Alright, okay, yeah, but Vera, yeah, we all like her. She kind of gets more courageous throughout the case. The only thing I don't want to talk about her yet is more of like a case relevant thing and not so much a character thing. So
Okay.
Let's talk about the
Fair.
case then.
yeah.
I mean,
So
honestly, I think it felt a little cheap when she just like, oh, she poisoned herself. She's out of the case now. She might die. They're like, oh, she could die, but she doesn't, which was a little contrived. In my
I
opinion.
wish there was kind of like a reason for it. Like, atroquinine, it can kind of decay. The efficacy can like kind of like go away after a long period of time or something. But like, no, you're the first one who survived.
yeah,
I think, which is also the fact when you consider how long the poison was sitting there.
yeah. Okay.
'Cause that's a little weird.
I'm gonna talk about that when we talk about the plan and it's how things go down. But let's start with just the setup. Like Vera is accused of killing her father with poison, and because he didn't visit anybody, and the one person he did visit was innocent of the crime. But yeah, let's talk about the witness, Spark Brushel.
Okay, I do want to open a spec for us saying that. At first, I hated him, but after the flashbacks, I was like, no, what? He's okay. I was
Yeah.
too harsh on him.
I
He's
feel,
okay.
I feel
I
similar.
thought he was funny.
I enjoyed him.
No, I really could not stand his design, so I kind of just ignored his parts at first. But
Yeah.
after like the flashback happened, that he started to get more characterization. I'm like, you know what? I was too harsh on you, my son. You're actually okay.
I'm
Perhaps I'm
indifferent
too
to Spark
harsh.
Brushel because comedy-wise,
I mean-
I kind of think the joke ran a little bit thin. I thought it was funny at first, but they kind of don't really do much with it. Do much different, I should say.
I'm not saying I think he's funny. I think he's a decently written character for what we're given.
Oh yeah, I
I
agree.
just
Like,
enjoyed-
yeah, go on, Han.
I just enjoyed doing the voice.
Not,
What's the voice?
You know, Henry.
That's pretty.
Yes,
You made me hate him again. Fuck you, Con. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, you know what? We're gonna replay through the game, and I'm gonna show you all the voices Con and I did, and you're gonna either hate or love characters more.
Fair.
But yeah, no, Spark Brushel, he's gross. He's straight up gross. Like,
Yeah.
Gross.
that sickly sweet scent of mint.
Oh, it's because he's always brushing his
Sickly
teeth
sweet
and every other
shape of-
orifice on his body.
But it's like they
And his
made the smell
glasses.
of mint like gross. Like usually you think mint's like, oh, okay, it's a refreshing smell, at least in my opinion. But with this guy, it's
You
like
can definitely make the mint or like that clean smell.
Mint is kind of disgusting.
you think so?
Honestly, I don't like mint that much.
Oh, I definitely disagree with that. Except with Spark
Yeah.
Brushel.
It depends on
Mint
the
is
mint.
neat.
Depends on the mint.
Okay.
Fresh mint, great. Like crappy synthetic mint, you get in like fucking like mints and gum. Wintergreen.
Obviously,
Eh.
we're going to talk about this more in our mint discussion.
But-
which
Can I
will
say
be
comment?
more
What's your favorite
popular
mint?
than it.
Did I say wintergreen? I'm retired. Wintergreen is great. Spearmint is what I don't like. I don't like spearmint.
I don't like
Mhm.
peppermint, but that's more of a taste
Peppermint's
thing, though.
not great either, in my opinion. I like it more than spearmint, but wintergreen is where it's at.
But yeah, okay, enough about fucking mints. Spark Brushel's there. He basically
You started the mint thing. Fuck off.
I that's why I'm ending it, because it's my fault.
Okay, I think we should talk about mint for another hour and a half.
Ah!
Mint time.
I just brushed my teeth.
Save
so
it
my
for the
breath's
mint
rolling.
discussion.
Yeah, we're no. You know what? Now I'm gonna fucking post the video afterward. That's just
All right,
us,
time
like-
for a quick history of mint. Quick history of mint.
So
Did you
Spark
know
Spark
that
Brushel
mint was actually?
Spark Brushel actually time traveled back in time to create mints, and then when he came back, he was the sole user of it. He's
Oh,
okay. Let's actually fucking get into the meat of this shit. So, first all this shit that happened, basically,
First
we see
day
letters.
investigation. Kind of.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's start with investigation, Tom. Yeah. The
Yeah,
fresh
investigation kind of just the first day investigation kind of just plain. You're just kind of like, here's all the evidence, go into court.
Another.
vibing.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like it. It was kind of like, oh, yeah, here's a case you're doing now. You don't get to prepare at all, really. Fuck you.
Yeah,
Oh, I mean that's kind of it. Doesn't it's done
that's
that
par for the
before.
course for
Yeah.
Ace Attorney.
But it's
Yeah, I
still a
was
little
saying.
annoying.
I wasn't saying.
I guess it's better than case 3 where you, besides witnessing the murder, you have fucking nothing.
Oh, actually, I do have one complaint about the investigation, which is the 3 portraits you find.
Oh,
and
Portraits?
My big
three.
piece-
Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah.
the three portraits you do the minigame to find out what's underneath them, and
Right.
you find out they're drawings of Apollo's cases, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, whoa, what does this mean? And the game never does anything with it.
Yeah, it didn't do anything with it, did it?
Oh yeah,
That's
they
also
did
kind
do
of
that,
true.
didn't they?
They
Like,
didn't
oh,
really do
yeah.
much with it.
He liked you.
I'm
That's
convinced
it.
that they wanted them. They put them in the game just so you can have the minigame of finding the paintings, because otherwise, I don't. What else do you use the minigame for? For the letter, right? But that's like a
They use it.
tutorial.
They used it for no. They use it for the letters, so like you can find out what's inside the letter.
Yeah, so I get that, but then they felt they're like, oh, we want to use it more in depthly, right? So they want to use the paint in the paintings, but then they didn't think of what you'd use the paintings for, so they just sit in your inventory or in your evidence for the rest of the case, and nothing happens. Literally nothing.
No, they're not in there
Yeah.
for the rest of the case.
You guess
Yeah,
They're
yes,
in
they
there
are.
for like. I think they're just in there for the rest of the investigation.
No, I know for a fact.
They're definitely not in there at the end.
Yes, they are.
I mean-
all the evidence is at
Yeah.
the end. This case does not remove anything. I know
I
you
think
just.
the
I know,
only-
I know you just played it, but I am adamant that that's how it was.
I think
Did I
the
try to
other-
present any one of them?
I
none
don't
of them-
remember.
I did the
because-
mobile version, so maybe it's different.
Oh, I mean, I guess they could have played. Well, I mean, Con and I played the 3DS version though, and it didn't do that either. They should be the same, pretty much.
Yeah, probably. But I really don't think the paintings were there at the end.
Either way, they were. It was a mistake to have them there to begin
I mean,
with.
Isn't that a fact we can just prove and then ignore because it's not important to what we're talking about?
Well, it's kind of important to the sense that there's
No,
stuff introduced that are like intriguing, but they go nowhere.
it's a
that's
smaller example, relatively speaking, but I think it's an example of, in my opinion, how slapdash this case feels.
Yeah, I agree.
What?
What?
I first I don't know what slapdash means.
Like scrambled together, not thought out and just kind of last minute put together.
Messy, sloppy.
Rainbow Dash.
I wish the case was Rainbow Dash together, but
Oh, okay. Shut the fuck up.
I think
I regret
that the case had too many components, like as a whole, too many things that were like only tangentially related.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, what are we solving exactly?
Yeah.
There's several different things that we're solving at the same time,
Well,
and they're
but-
not really connected to each other.
It's not the first time the game has done that, but
The problem is that
Definitely feels
they're
bad.
not really related.
yeah.
It's just this one dude was connected to all of these things, and that's it.
yeah, okay. Remind me. After the first trial is right after is the flashback trial, right? And then you get the Mason system, and then the final trial, right?
Yeah. Okay. One thing,
Yeah.
the flashback, how it starts feels really weird. It's like, yeah, you're going in the Matrix now. Good luck.
Well,
Felix is just like breaks the third wall. Yeah, you're in the Matrix now.
do we
It's
want
like,
to
what?
go into the flashback trial? Because we haven't really
Yes.
talked much about the first trial and investigation, but to be frank, I don't think there is much to talk
Is there
about.
really anything?
The
to
first,
talk about?
yeah. I mean, the only thing I want to mention is that I think that Spark Brushell's tell is pretty funny. That he just sweats.
Oh, Kyle, what do you think of the tell?
The what?
His not Cyclops, his bracelet tell for the perceiving.
Oh.
He's sweaty.
I'm trying to remember. Was it like something really obscure that?
I remember
just
you. I
wasn't-
remember you had trouble finding it because you're searching his face, you're searching his hand, you're searching your body. And you're like, where the hell is it? And then you like, I forget if I gave you a hint or something. Actually, I think I did give you a hint. But the point is, you're like looking around his body, and then eventually you see like the armpits. You're like, oh. Ew. I don't remember that was actually your reaction. It was a while ago, but I just remember it was momentous, and I think it's funny and gross
Sweats
that it's
mint.
armpits.
He sweats.
Yeah, I could have saw it. I could have seen it. Maybe it was. I just missed it. Maybe.
No,
it
you.
wasn't
I
like
mean, you would have
that
got.
bad.
I mean, you got it either way. I'm just.
No,
saying.
I don't think it was like really obvious, like because usually they're just like on the face or like the hands and stuff, not really on the clothes.
Yeah.
It was a particular.
Yeah, just like Kristoff's tell, huh?
It wasn't unsolvable.
Oh yeah, that was super hard to find.
Which one?
Kristoff's tell.
Tell.
That one was kind of a bitch.
Which
Oh,
one?
really?
I didn't find it that hard.
You
To,
Oh, Joseph, you were saying we didn't really talk about those in the previous discussion.
I was
Well,
okay.
We didn't.
I think if
mean,
you're not, if you're not prepared for it, I think Kristoff's tale can be kind of a bitch to get to. First, the people who I was watching, if they didn't take too long to find it, but they were kind of like, huh, because they didn't think that was actually going to be it, because it's very subtle.
I'll be
Kind of
honest.
cool
I
stuff.
thwas it was obvious as hell. It's literally like the
I
first.
thought it was
thing
Yeah, I
you
pretty
did too.
easy. Like it's right in front of his face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe I misremember, but I remember it being kind of like not as obvious.
Well,
Remind me, what
it's
was
his
it?
hand tenses up. His
No,
hand
I
clenches up.
I know.
And it's when he has his hand in his face pushing up his glasses.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. I don't agree at all. That's solo. It's
be
literally
fair,
it's literally a
It's
fucking
really
devil
like,
in his hand.
You look at his face and you.
Well, I'm not
see
asking you
the
to
hand
be
agree
fair,
with me.
Ian, you never fucking played it, so
Oh shit, he went there.
Okay, so
No,
so you don't know
Get
how
the hell
hard
out
it is
of
to
here,
find.
you asshole.
no, I don't. No, I'm more poking.
Stinky
Ian,
Ian.
I'm more poking fun at the game's fucking Telver Kristoff having a literal devil in his fucking hand,
Yeah, it's a bit,
Oh,
that's
yeah, I
a bit
remember.
in your face.
but on the nose. And then
He's the devil.
And
Get it?
then, not to get ahead of myself, but in the Mason system, I remember Vera mentions something about like, "Oh, I saw the devil in him," and Felix like, "What the fuck are you
Yeah.
talking about?" Or no, she didn't say she saw the
Oh, yeah,
devil in
I forgot
him. She
about
just
that.
said she saw the devil.
Yeah.
I mean,
She's
is
like,
that-
he's either a devil or an angel.
I mean, I don't think
She also said the devil when she like fainted.
Yeah, she did.
kind of a
yeah, she
terrible
did.
hint in there.
Yeah, it's the devil who tried to kill her.
I don't mind stuff
She
like
wouldn't.
that,
She
like,
wouldn't really know that, would she?
I mean, yes. Okay.
She's
I-
intelligent enough to get it. I think.
I wouldn't be surprised
especially
either
at that
way.
point.
Like, I wouldn't blame her for not getting it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if she put the pieces together that's how she got poisoned. Because, like, what else would have been fucking been if it wasn't the nail polish, like, from her
It
perspective?
was
right?
her little hands.
Yeah, like,
her
no,
little
she didn't
fingers.
ingest anything else.
Actually, no, now that you mention it, I'm starting to remember more of the case. Actually, you do have a point. It actually, at that point, it would kind of make sense that she'd start to put it together.
Yeah, like who could have possibly poisoned her dad?
Like, in
And
my-
what was
yeah.
it? And then she gets poisoned with
She's looking at-
poison as well.
She's like
Hmm.
looking at Clavier the entire time, like
I
super
mean,
intense.
the case doesn't really hide the fact that Kristoff is the killer. You start the case, and he's literally the first thing you see, just like in the shadows, staring at you. Like, okay, why is Kristoff here?
Yeah.
Like,
He who
I don't know. I kind of would have liked some more, mystery. I mean,
Yeah.
is there any other final case that's like just so easy with what the fucking criminal is? Maybe in Spirit of Justice.
They could have done
No,
it
not
where,
even
like,
Spirit of Justice, because well, I'm not gonna say who, but there's
Don't
another
say I
character
haven't
that
played
a
it.
lot of people thought was the villain instead, basically.
Oh, okay.
it's just it could have been like the challenge of proving it, and the excitement
Actually-
from it or whatever. But that also has been done better in other cases. This
One
was
thing-
underwhelming.
That's
I know
fair.
it's not from the start, but like Manfred von Karma, like who it like before you even go to into like the trial, and like I think that was pretty cool.
One thing I really didn't like about the evidence thing was like you had to like the weird time paradox it made where you had to like evidence you would have to get from like go back in time and get the evidence and bring it to the future. That I didn't like that. That
Yeah, I'm
What do you
definitely gonna
Okay.
talk about that. But
What?
But Ian, what about the completely logical part of getting
No.
evidence in the future and then presenting it in the past?
Let's.
No.
I
It makes
agree with all
perfect
these
sense.
grievances, but I want to save it for after we talk about the flashback trial, since we.
Yeah, we're
I
jumping.
agree.
I mean, this
I agree.
technically has to do with the
There's
flashback trial.
spoilers.
Okay, so flashback trial.
Flashback trial.
I
Phoenix
would-
gets fucked.
Something I want to point out in the original game, they didn't update any of the sprites for the original characters, such as Phoenix and the Judge, and I think even Gumshoe. So when you're in the main game, the Judge already looks a little bit weird, but you don't notice as much. In the flashback trial, in the original game, mind you, it's so off-putting looking at Phoenix across some fucking young Clavier's beautiful sprite. Sorry, not model. Granted,
Oh, really? I didn't
So
notice
stupid.
it that much. I don't think it
well,
was that bad.
I mean, you may have. That's why I say keyword the original game. You may have played playthrough of the 3DS/new iOS version, which thankfully did update the hand-drawn sprites.
Okay, I think
Made
that's
it-
probably what it was. It was the updated version.
Yeah, in the
don't
updated
think-
version, Phoenix and everyone have beautiful drawn sprites now.
I feel like I would have noticed if their sprites were like really awesome.
Yeah, I can pull it up for you. It's so fucking obvious. Like,
Want to do that?
yeah,
I mean, I'll be honest.
I'll do it. I'll do it while we're still talking. But
I was more paying attention to the dialogue than the sprites, but I don't. That's not what I said, but okay.
wait, Tom,
I
what did
wasn't
you
paying
say?
attention to the sprites that much.
I just say no. I said I pay attention to the plot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess yeah. I was looking at what they were saying, not so much what they were doing.
You know what?
Wait, were you watching a DS playthrough or something?
I was just watching a playthrough.
All right.
It was an emulation.
Yeah, if you want, you look at my screen. They're literally side by side. The difference.
Fucking
This
it'll load.
you got it. This is the original game with the original sprite, and this is the new drawn one for 3DS iOS.
I don't think it's as obvious as you say it is, but there's a
think you're-
difference.
I think the main issue is like the old sprite compared to Clavier's sprite,
Oh, it definitely is because
rather than it
like
compared to the new.
Clavier's past sprite is literally one of the most detailed sprites in the game, if not the most. Like it's Clavier in general has one of the most detailed sprites in the game. It's insane, but
Funny.
that's a nitpick. I just find it funny, but also a sign of laziness, in my opinion. But
Not laziness. It's just, I mean, wasn't that like
for the
a,
original game, I'd say it's laziness.
And that's definitely laziness. But to be fair, again,
okay?
I can understand your point in it, but I don't think it's as bad as you say it is.
In the pictures I show, like comparing Phoenix to Phoenix, I don't look as bad, but Phoenix to Clavier,
Fair.
I don't think I ever noticed. So
I know I remember right because I think first time I played it was did I emulate it or was iOS first time? Oh no, technically first time I saw it was a YouTube playthrough, but then I played the iOS version myself, where thankfully they changed it. But anyways, first time I saw it in action, it was very jarring. Anyways, the case itself, first game music, I'm glad to have it back, nostalgic, whatnot. First game has a great soundtrack, so of course I'm glad to have it back.
Yeah.
Just don't
Yeah,
forget about the best part of the flashback, Gumshoe.
Dick
Hell
Gumshoe.
yeah.
Oh
Oh, I
yeah.
love how.
Can't wait to see him again.
When we were playing. Damn it! I love the guy, so I'm sad.
He's great.
Con, play the investigations game, you'll see him there.
Yeah, that's true. Hey, we were playing,
Oh,
and
did-
I wasn't
Did you
sure
kind of
that
shit
we
on those
were,
games?
we were
On
ever
the
going to
first
see
one, that's
Gumshoe
like,
again.
go on.
We were playing Apologist, and I wasn't sure that we were ever going to see Gumshoe again. And, we're playing it, and I saw Emma as a detective, and I was like, it's good to see her again, but I miss Gumshoe. And Joseph says nothing until the flashback trial, and then my man Gumshoe comes on the screen, and I'm like, hey! Back!
The sad
Yeah,
thing is, I
I'm-
already knew he wasn't gonna. This is like the last time I would see him in a Ace Attorney game. I'm like, damn, this is depressing. Like, oh, what happened to him? Why did he just disappear?
I also didn't know that, so that makes me sad now.
Oh, sorry.
We need
It's
Gumshoe.
not
And,
really a spoiler.
we
but
need
yeah.
Gumshoe and Emma to like interact. Like the fucking
Like,
Gumshoe
we
is
see
the
Emma
senior
talking
one, but he's
to
absolutely
you know, okay, I'll
he's
just say-
almost incompetent, while Emma is the fresh newbie and is extremely smart and intelligent and good at everything.
I don't know if
No,
I,
not
I don't know if I
really.
agree with that. Most in,
I don't.
because in
Maybe not a
Apollo,
game, but a movie would be cool.
in Apollo Justice, I don't think Emma's really that competent, to be honest, like at all.
I think he's more talking about the dynamic they should have.
Could have.
Could have.
But I mean, to be honest, I think Gumshoe would be the guy that seemingly comes across as less competent, but like actually gets shit done compared to Emma.
I mean, isn't that kind of how he is in the games?
Yeah, he is, but that's what I'm saying. Like, it wouldn't just be like, oh, Emma's so much better than him because she's not. Like, when it comes to actually finding shit, Gumshoe is just straight up proven to be better about it. It's just that.
But
Emma
yeah, but
has-
you can still do a lot of fun stuff with that dynamic, you know.
No, I agree. I just don't think it would be just straight up. Oh, she's smart, he dumb.
I don't like those kind of dynamics at all.
Yeah, no.
Huh.
You can make it work, but I think it's
I think literally the
I
only
was
time I
tired
like
of
it is
having
like
detectives, like just kind of.
I
In
mean,
like
it's a
one case,
cliche,
like
but
interacting
it's a
with.
popular trope, I guess. You know?
the only time I like those kind of like dynamics is ones that are clearly like for a joke. Like for example, Pinky and the Brain, where the whole point
you
is
know,
that this genius
well,
is stuck with this complete moron.
Pinky is an idiot, but he's not like he's emotionally intelligent. So
Well, yeah, compared to
That makes
yeah,
sense.
but I was more getting like it's only it's
It's
funny
going
like certain
way
things like that where that's the point, and it's like.
and not to mention they're both pretty good friends. Like the entire point of the series is like their dynamic
Yeah.
for Pinky and the
One
Brain.
of the best examples of it, of a show kind of doing stuff like that, is actually Two and a Half Men with the main characters Charlie and Alan, where it's like in some situations one's the idiot and the other's really smart, and in other situation it's the exact opposite. Where
Oh yeah, they do go back and forth.
yeah, because basically like one's very like socially intelligent and like just not emotionally, like socially intelligent, whereas the other one's an introvert, and but the introverted one's obviously a lot just like.
I don't know if
super
I'd
smart,
call
the other
I don't know if I'd call Charlie emotionally intelligent.
well, socially adept.
Socially,
though.
sure.
That's why I stop myself at emotionally intelligent because he's not. But when it comes to a social situation, he's like, Alan, you're a moron. But then when Charlie has to do like basic math and accounting, Alan's like, Charlie, you fucking stupid.
I haven't fucking watched the show in fucking like a decade, but
It's great.
I
It's so great, in my opinion.
I thought that was a movie.
No.
you know, I mean, I really liked it when Ashton Kutcher came. I'm kidding.
And we're done.
Yeah, a little bit too off topic.
Anyways, Flashback Trial Phoenix. You know, I would say the Gumshoe. I really liked him being back. I personally think he was slightly different than he was in the original trilogy. Mostly that he was like so focused on being like, yeah, I'm gonna prove you wrong, pal. And he was kind of like that at first, but there in the end, not at all. I'd say.
I mean, I think it's just
I
because
definitely
they're bringing him. They're bringing him back for like this cameo.
Yeah.
They're like they kind of want to end it the last time we're ever gonna see him. Apparently, on a kind of like a fun, lighthearted note, I guess. I don't know.
I get it. Like he was still fun to see. I kind of would have preferred to see how far they come versus homage to how they first met. If that makes sense. Like I legit want Phoenix and Gumshoe to be like, "Hey pal, here again." Yep. All right, let's get this over with.
Right. I mean, I didn't really find him that like odd with his personality. I just think like I mean, there's only one time I really can think of where Gumshoe was like trying to prove Phoenix wrong, and that moment I thought was actually really funny.
Not something like it was funny and entertaining. I just think once again, I think they could have done something more. I guess more. Something that respects it even more, if that makes sense. Respects his return even more, just by just by building up, just showing how far they've come versus.
Okay,
like I said,
I think you're looking at this in retrospect. Apollo Justice was like released after Trial and Tribulation, and then there's Investigations with Gumshoe, and like the only reason Gumshoe probably isn't in the game is because the new horrible directors of Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice don't want him in there. I don't think the makers of Apollo Justice
you realize that
the
whole quote unquote horrible directors of Dual Destiny and Spirit of Justice are the same directors of the Investigations games, right?
I don't care. There are still horrible people.
You like those games, so you can't say they're entirely horrible.
Who fucking accidentally made two good games.
Investigations 2 ain't no fucking accident.
They're just wrong when Tom wants them to be wrong.
Let's just that's not
exactly.
That's not good.
See,
all right,
I agree with you.
I don't really
also,
get much on that point.
Joseph, we noticed that actually Gumshoe's coat should have been white, right? Just for just a little continuity error there.
Oh, you're talking about the beige coat he gets at the end of Trial and Tribulations from Maggie, right?
Oh yeah. Was it because it was cleaned finally, or you got like a new one?
It was just straight up a new coat. So the implication is, and I think he had the beige coat at the beginning. What was it in case 3-4, I believe, or was it 3-1? It was whichever flashback.
It was like end of 3. Wasn't it like end of 3-5? But sorry.
But yeah, but
I thought it was like in the credits.
It was in the credits. The credits was what I'm talking about first, but
he
also had the beige coat. And
the original one before it was dirtied. Yeah.
So the implication is it was beige to begin with. It got green as it got dirty over time.
So maybe he got it dirty
Yeah.
even quicker this time.
I mean, that's possible, but yeah. So yeah, Gumshoe, not a big deal. Just a nitpick of mine, and especially in the span of
Yeah.
how Phoenix is in this case.
Awesome. What?
No. Okay,
It's
I'm in.
Joel Phoenix
okay.
right.
hear me out.
I'm in the
Exactly as he's always been.
I love
You
how
want him to be an idiot.
I love how competent he is in this case.
You want him to be an idiot.
No, you don't even know what I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Okay, what are you gonna say?
I don't. Why are you jumping?
What
It's
I don't
completely
like
bad.
is how arrogant and cocky he is. And hear me out. Hear me out here. 2 months after 3-5.
Was it 2 months?
It's
Yeah,
literally
I
like
mean,
2 or 3 months after.
that's a lot of time, you know.
No,
People
it's
change a whole
not.
lot
Dude, no,
in
it's
2
not.
months.
Dude, in Ace Attorney, 2 months is like at most another case, if not less than that. This is 2 months is not enough time for him to act so differently than he did in 3-5. I'm sorry, it's not.
Oh, that's because it's against Clavier, or not Clavier, Christoph.
No, it's
Because
against Clavier.
Christoph.
It's against Clavier. You're right. First time. No, and I will give it some credit. Jean Clavier is being a little shit, so I don't blame Phoenix for getting irritated with him. But I still.
Yeah. I mean, I thought that was kind of funny. Like, he's just started. He's primarily a fucking rock star, and he's like, I'm gonna do this now, and I'm gonna be a bit of a little
Yeah,
shit.
I'm mostly Phoenix right, and not very impressive. And Phoenix is like, all right, who the fuck are you? But so I understand him being irritated with Clavier, but he still just comes across as like too much on his high horse. In my
There's a
opinion.
much
I mean, I
better
do agree with
German
that.
prosecutor than this asshole.
I think
See, I feel I have more of a, I guess not positive, but I'm more okay with Phoenix in this. I agree that 2 months is too short of a time for him to be acting like this, but I also think that, from a story perspective, it's an intriguing idea to sort of have Phoenix be in that position and then slap him in the face at the end of it. I'm gonna leave it there for now.
Yeah, but
I don't know
otherwise,
what Khan's trying to say.
I think.
You didn't understand what I was trying to say?
No, I did not.
What part confused you?
Like I would like more elaboration because you just were like, I like how he like is like this and then gets slapped in the face.
I don't think you structured what you were saying. So if you want to restate it.
Well, I mean, like, I like how cocky he is. I like how arrogant he is because it's setting the character up to experience something that is going to change him. This being framed for forging evidence when he's all arrogant and stuff might be some sort of wake up call. Might be some inciting incident for an interesting arc. And I
Are you
think
saying like
it sets it up pretty interestingly, very intriguingly, It's a good story.
It's seeding the moment where he is like apprehended for faking evidence, and like his behavior is like, oh look, this is a typical shitty lawyer doing shitty things.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about Phoenix or Clavier being kind of?
Talking about Phoenix.
Phoenix doesn't really come off as being arrogant, though.
Well, that's what Joseph said.
Yeah,
yes,
no,
he does.
he does.
Yes, he does.
I really want to talk about this. But the thing is, I don't know why you guys are saying he's arrogant. I don't. He
He seems confident in his case because he was literally handed what he believes to be a coup d'état of it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh. Huh,
I mean,
all right.
Phoenix
Yeah.
got
I mean,
nothing.
first
What do
off-
you mean?
First off, 2 months. 2 months. I didn't know it was 2 months. It might have been too short. Might have been too
Oh, no,
long.
I think
or might
2
have been
months
too
is
short.
definitely not enough time. I was
But-
kind of dumb.
And I'm willing.
I
to
think at
forgive
the end
2
of
months. It being too short, I'm willing to forgive that if it's
Yeah.
interesting in the story and it starts interesting. Sorry, go on.
But in 3-5, it's kind of like Phoenix, kind of like ending his like character arc. Kind of, he's just kind of like supposed to be a competent lawyer now. He's supposed to be like no longer a rookie. After 3-5, like he was acknowledged by Godot that he
He's
like
the man.
surpassed Mia.
He's
Uh,
big man
good-
Phoenix.
He's a good guy. So
He's a nice guy.
he definitely like
No.
he definitely like thinks of Clavier kind of like pretty like poorly,
This
but
is
like
this fucking
I mean,
tough
I
start,
fucking
maybe.
hate-
I mean, can you really
I-
blame him though?
He's
I
justified
I
in
hate
looking
the
down on
trope that
Clavier.
they've done like so many times of like, oh, this guy's from like fucking Germany. He's the newest guy and he's so good.
That's
He's
like the
never been in a
8-1.
And I
yeah,
love
that
seeing
too.
him get slapped around and like Phoenix just not giving a shit about like
Yeah, he's literally the fourth person, the fourth hotshot prosecutor
Yeah.
that shows up,
Yeah.
and he's like, I don't
That's
care
like
anymore.
defeated every one of them.
Really do.
So like he has the right to be like, okay, dude, come on, you're a hotshot,
Well,
I get it.
like I said, I don't blame Phoenix at all for how he thinks of Clavier. That all makes sense. But it's just his attitude in general. It's like I don't mind him not being calm and not really taking about stuff. I don't mind him being irritated by Clavier, but just how like cocky and how like on his high horse he seems. To me, it's just too far.
I don't really
So-
get
He has
that.
like a
What do you mean by
slam
that?
dunk
You
case
say
though,
you
right?
don't mind
No, it's
about,
really
like,
not. It's really
something.
not.
I mean,
slam
think
dunk
about it.
case.
Like the last time we saw Phoenix at 3-5, he was battling his super evil ex, almost lost Maya, and was faced with owning up to the death of Mia, and dealing with the guilt that Godo is, trying to make him feel guilty, and he's dealing with that. It doesn't feel like that case was anything in that case would raise Phoenix's ego or arrogance. But
no,
in the flashback trial, he is pretty. Again, in relation to Clavier, I get it, and again, I like what they do. I'm just saying I would prefer it if it were like a year after or something. I don't know, like a
feel
little
like
more time.
It should have been like a couple years.
they
Yeah,
didn't
if
need
you're-
to do
if
it. By the way,
they
like they
what?
didn't need it to have like 2 months. They could have done long. Is there a reason
Well-
why it was only 2 months? It's
Well,
like an
no, there
investigation.
really is no reason. That's why
There's not really
that's
a
why I
reason. They
fucking
just
hate it.
are like,
There's like no reason to have it be this like.
I don't
awkward.
really mind too much, but it's just like 2 months. I mean, like
we've never really cared about the timeline all that much.
Well,
True.
They,
So-
well,
I don't
no,
really care
no,
about
they
it.
cared up until this point, in my opinion.
No, they
Well,
didn't.
even if
they
they-
completely by
well,
accident set those series in the future. They didn't care about the timeline.
But they care. But
Well,
they
caring
but they
about the
cared about
timeline
stuff
to
like,
the extent of making sense of where the character would be after the last time we saw him—that's just basic storytelling, in my opinion.
there's no okay. Having this case take place 2 months after 3-5 completely slaps the ending and conclusion of 3-5 in the face. Because
No,
there's no
it
happy
doesn't.
ending now.
No,
yes,
it
does.
doesn't.
Yes, it does. Literally right after you has this fucking awesome momentous moment in 3-5, he loses his
I
badge.
mean, I feel like that's kind
Well,
of
yeah,
the point.
that's there wasn't a happy ending. That's
I
the
feel
whole
like
point.
I agree. I can
That's a
understand why
stupid
you don't like it.
Joseph, this is the beginning of the dark age of the law, which becomes a really huge thing.
Joseph, I get
no-
why you don't like it, but there is
Dark Age of the
there is kind of a reason for it. It's a dumb reason, but they do have a reason why. It's just immediate. Well, get fucked. I think it would have been better if there was like a year or two of him being like a great lawyer.
To me, yeah,
Right. They don't do that.
I really wish they had like more years under his belt for him to A, get to this point and make sense, and B, okay, there's another reason why I have a problem with it being 2 months after. It's the fact that he doesn't notice anything wrong about the fucking diary page.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's
Like-
fair. I agree.
Like, okay, let's think about this, right? At the very beginning of the case, he's talking to Zach, and Zach is being a complete fucking ass and just not telling him anything about the case. Be like, ha, you'll be fine. They won't convict me anyway. And Phoenix is like, can't you just please, fuck me. And then Trucy just comes up and gives him the page. He's like, some guy told me to give this to you, and fucks off.
Mhm.
And Phoenix doesn't think anything of it. Nothing.
Isn't Clavier technically the person who orchestrates that?
No.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
no,
it was
it was
Kristoff.
Kristoff.
No,
It was
not
Kristoff,
Clavier.
though.
The other one.
Okay.
Kristoff did it, and Clavier was one of the pieces in the plan.
But like,
Right.
Because Kristoff was
It
like,
did kind of come
Kristoff told Clavier
you're right,
that
okay.
he was gonna present
Yeah,
fake
yeah,
evidence.
Kristoff tipped off Clavier
Yeah.
and be like, hey, I heard that Phoenix Wright guy may have some fake evidence. And I think he literally told Clavier where to search, maybe. I forget. But that's another thing I kind of find odd. Kristoff gives Clavier a lot of information that I have no... Like, Clavier, Clavier's like, how... Clavier should be like, how the fuck do you know this? At least a little bit. I understand, obviously, he trusts his brother, but, like, it's still kind of sus, right?
No, I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
Pretty sus, bro. It's pretty sus.
Step
well,
bro.
you know.
What are you
It'd be like
doing?
Step bro, that's pretty sus, step bro.
But the case
Hey,
goes,
yo.
the case goes by pretty normally with, like, Valen and whatnot, right? And then eventually it comes up where it's like, okay, Phoenix practically being like, okay, like, in his, he basically proved his client innocent. If not, you can't prove that Zach did it. But then Clavier, in my opinion, kind of says some bullshit where it's like, oh no, you see, because it did. I forget what he says, but basically, like, it's
Okay.
Like you need to definitively prove it. Do
Yeah.
you have any that
Okay, Joseph,
definitively prove
I
it?
get where. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I agree with you. However, a lot of cases kind of do that. They're like, "Are you sure about that? Though?
Dude,
You need to be more specific."
Apollo Justice is so much worse.
What do you mean?
So much
Are you
worse.
are you
That is kinda
saying
like
that?
the
Wait.
the game though.
What are you saying? Can you like?
I'm basically saying that Phoenix practically proves that Zach is not definitively the killer, and it basically could have been Valent or Zach. And Clavier is like, yeah, maybe, but can you prove it wasn't Zach, or can you prove it was Valent?
You
And
need decisive
and it's
evidence.
like framed
I
as a
feel like
situation that Phoenix has to present evidence when he
that's-
doesn't.
Clavier trying to bait him into presenting the fake
Yeah, no,
evidence
yeah,
that
that's
he was
true.
told
True.
That's what you're
that
saying.
Phoenix.
Yeah, but the game doesn't even give you the choice to not fall for it. You have to present, even though you.
I
really
know
don't.
that it does give you the choice. It does. It's
No, it
like,
doesn't.
should you present this evidence? And then you say yes or no. And then
Tom,
I
if
said
you say
no.
it-
I
okay,
said no,
okay.
and it's like, yeah, maybe I should though.
So you don't get the choice.
Yeah, no.
So there is no choice.
Connection
I'm
was
just saying they give you a choice, but it doesn't matter.
It's a fake choice. It's not an actual choice.
my connection was not working. What did you say? Did you hear what I was saying?
Yeah, Joseph said he really likes the game.
No. Shut the
Wow.
Yeah,
Did you,
You know,
did you hear what I
Joseph
said?
really loves the game. Joseph agrees with everything you said so far.
Let's go.
I mean, technically, Ruben has.
Did you hear what I said though?
Repeat it just in case.
I said that the Clavier being like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" If that's
was
him
baiting
baiting him.
Oh, yeah, we
to
hear- we
be
hear
like,
No,
that.
I agree
Yeah.
with Clavier
That
beating
was-
him, but there's no. Phoenix doesn't have to present anything, and the game pretends like you do.
That's kind of like the entire thing in this game, and just
I
like he
do
said,
agree
that's
with
like
that.
how
the
kind of
context of where he got that page. It's just like how after 2 months from Trials and Tribulations, how can he fall for this so easily?
Yeah,
you know,
this is like
Yeah.
so fucking obvious, and he falls for it. Like, come on.
like I fell
I
for it,
mean-
but I'm not. I'm not right.
what I will say is that it's probably not extremely compelling, but he has just accepted evidence from children before in the
True.
past.
True, he has done that before.
Children have walked up to him and handed him evidence, and he's just accepted it. And like, okay, thank you.
Are you
Do
talking
you,
about like
do
something
you
like
guys
Pearls?
remember a time other than maybe like 1.5 or is it 1.6?
Yeah,
Well, it's
Pearl.
one-
But
one-
it,
one-
I am referring
where-
to Pearl. But also, this was when Pearl wouldn't speak to him. She was like, "Here you go."
Yeah, but
She
she
just
gave-
hands him
yeah,
shit.
I'm pretty sure she gave him like the key to the door or some shit though.
I'm
Which is
sure he presented that in court.
yeah, but no, but the point
I
is
mean,
he used
okay.
the key. He used the key. Like it wasn't fucking like, oh, here's this fucking confession letter.
No, he
from
didn't use
so-and-so.
the key. They both.
Okay,
they busted the door down.
Joseph.
Yeah.
Joseph. Again, devil's advocate. I mean, I want to say point out that Trucy is Valen's daughter.
You
So-
mean Zach?
No, Zach's daughter.
Sorry, Zach. Sorry, sorry.
Does he know that she's Zach's daughter?
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
she's
no,
in the
Zach,
magician's
no, Zach,
clothes,
Zach
so-
introduces her to Phoenix, but like, and here's the thing, it's regardless of like who she is. She literally said she just got it from some fucker in the courtroom.
I will say it's basically the same situation as Pearl giving him random evidence. Who's like, this is a person who is related to my client.
But
Yeah,
Who
that's
is
what
just
I
giving me
was gonna say.
evidence
That
that they
random,
picked up
though?
in a random place.
You could
I
argue
don't know
that
where it came from. They just had it and they give it to me. Okay.
you could argue he thought it was Valent giving her the evidence or something. I mean, sorry, not Valent, fucking Zach. I mean, I would say that makes it better.
Oh no, Ian, that's perfect that you say that, Ian. Because
What?
when Phoenix gets it, Zach asks about it, and he's like, "What's that?" And Phoenix is like, "I don't know, something apparently I got right." But even better, okay. So what Phoenix was
you're
given
right,
was a
that does
fake. So what Phoenix was given is a fake diary page, right? He presents it in court,
Mhm.
and if they go through the process being like, prove me it's a fake, the entire time Zach had the real one fucking on him.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
On his
You see, the thing about that is Zach is kind of an idiot and he sucks. I will not dispute that.
Yeah,
Zach
like,
is shit.
At any
Zach's
point,
kind of dumbass.
at
Yeah.
any point, Zach could have brought this up and saved his case. Like, what are you doing?
What
No,
did
you
the
can't
original
though. You have
page
to honor.
say?
He has to honor his mentor. Remember? Joseph?
Oh, you mean his prick of a mentor? Fucking.
What was the original like diary page supposed to say?
The original diary
Oh.
page, I think, basically gave the inheritance to Zach or some shit.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now, it definitely didn't have to do with like accusing anyone of
I see.
murder because
Well, it would have cleared him though, right? Or would it have cleared him?
yes, it would
'Cause
have.
it's
Wait,
like,
wait,
I'm already the guy who's getting the shit.
Well, not
so
even
why
just
would
that. It was also because Clavier was implying like with the page, like, oh, there's a missing page here. So if we only know, McAfee talked about who killed him in it, but we'll never know. But that page would have proved that no, McAfee didn't say anything like that, and also he gave the inheritance to Matt Zach, so he has no motive for murder.
True, because he was already dying.
Right. So, God, that's
So does that end our discussion about the flashback trial?
maybe.
I
'Cause
mean,
those are-
time
there's a lot of
paradox.
stuff I
Time paradox.
those are my big problems with it. Phoenix's characterization, the stupid fucking diary page, and how it was handled.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Not
I'm more
the
in the
time
middle
paradox.
about
I
I
think
love
that
the
the-
characterization
the
of
time paradox is in the Mason system though later, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just-
that's later.
But before we get to that, I just want to say that I'm in the middle with this flashback. So like I realize and mostly agree with all the criticisms and problems we have with the flashback trial, but I also thought it was a very intriguing setup. Now,
Oh, I agree. I thought it was a really cool idea that was executed okay. It
I
could have been
don't-
better. It could have been worse.
I don't have a problem with like how it fits the timeline per se. I know that
Well,
Joseph doesn't like
yeah.
how soon it happens. I don't really have an issue with it. It's like it might as well happen now. Whatever. It
I
could happen at any time.
it's a potentially forgivable issue because
I think that the main problems is just really just that Zach's an asshole and he sucks
Yeah.
and he doesn't fucking really.
Actually, if you
He's like, I'm just gonna let this happen.
If you don't mind, real quick, before we go into the flashback case, there's one thing I wanted to bring up. One more thing about the flashback here. I just looked at my notes. Drew Misham being called as a witness is basically all
Mhm.
that's needed to prove that Phoenix forged evidence. But there's no verification on Drew's testimony, like, at all. Like, I understand, like, that's just
He
kinda how
is
witnesses
unable
are,
to
because,
point
right?
out that Phoenix
Oh,
is
yeah.
the one who
Well,
contracted him.
That's not really the point of what it was. It was
Doesn't
really
he-
the point that he presented it.
But he didn't know it was fucking forged
Well,
evidence.
yeah,
is the
like,
thing.
yeah, like,
And they
Drew
don't
Misham,
really let him defend himself on that, which
Like-
I didn't like.
like, Misham basically
that
just
was
says, like,
kinda
oh, yeah, it was forged. That's how it was.
yeah,
When-
and they just take his word for it, right?
When in reality, like, okay, like, take for example 2-4, because I have this in my notes. With the fake suicide note in the bear, they actually did a handwriting analysis to find out, right? And I understand this is a bit
Mhm.
different situation because Juan just wrote that versus this being an expert forge, but like, they didn't even try. Like, if you have to like somehow verify this man's statement, you can't just be
no,
like,
I do agree with you how little they seem to fucking care about it. They just
Yeah.
you were wrong. It's forged. Get fucked. We're not gonna go look into this further, even though we really should, as it's that important.
yeah,
we're just-
Well,
You
I think-
lied.
I think that what it is that because Christoph had tipped off Clavier that hey, there was fucking fake evidence happening, and then Clavier's like, okay, I'll investigate, and then they investigate and they find Misham. Like the prosecution's the one that bring him in,
Yeah.
which means that they independently found Misham and somehow connected him to the case. So the fact that he's on the stand saying, "Yeah, I made that," that's like, I think that supposedly that's good enough for them because they investigated, and they found him. Like, this guy is the one who did it.
but you're also
Yeah,
like not
but
even
there's
allowed
no
to like.
verification to it.
There's no
though.
verification, and you're not allowed to really question it as Phoenix. Like, wait a minute, how do you like? He says he forged it. Like, what basis do you have for that?
Honestly, there's definitely a lot of like issues I have with it, and like it seems pretty dumb. Like, you know, when you list out all these things, but overall, I think the flashback case was pretty fun. I definitely obviously there's a lot of like mistakes. There's some stuff they like kind of like didn't make sense about it, but overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I really enjoyed playing as competent Phoenix for once. The
Wow.
last time,
No,
I think that
Mason
they-
system.
I think that they probably could have like done that like reveal with Drew Meesham better. Which was like,
Yeah.
how do you know that he made it? And like, here's the evidence that he made it. Boom, whatever. Get fucked. You suck, Phoenix.
it would be cool. if,
Ratio
like,
L plus ratio plus get disbarred.
it would be cool if like it was like, you know, that he has to like find the contradictions in Drew Misham's testimony, and then like over time he realizes, oh fuck, this really is fake. You know?
But, you know, he did kind of just sit there and accept it, which felt a little out of character. Like,
Yeah.
okay.
Especially
I'm
after how
alright then.
proactive and whatnot he was throughout the trial up to this point.
You're just like, I guess this is happening now. I'm not going to defend myself. at
Oh,
all,
my
really.
pants are being pulled down. I might as well bend over.
That is kind of what happens. It is weirdly out of character, in my opinion.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not like a Phoenix Red expert, but it's like, I don't feel like you'd act like this.
Like that's what
How
I'm.
did
That's
this
what I'm saying.
react?
Like I love how competent he is until like he isn't.
Yeah. But most of the time he is, so honestly, I enjoyed the majority
Tom,
of
you
it.
can
Actually-
argue actually that his competency
Wasn't there
is actually pretty equal to that in Dual Destinies based off his occurrence. Huh?
wasn't there a letter from
No.
Gavin from Christoph to Meesham that
Yes. Oh, actually,
we find later?
yeah. Well, if you technically,
That Kristoff
we-
didn't throw away for some reason.
yeah, which he didn't throw away. From.
No, that Meesham didn't throw away, right?
Yeah, no, you're
No,
right.
the Kristoff didn't either.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So
Hold on.
So now I'm just now realizing, like, if Meesham had that letter, was called into the testimony to whatever, wouldn't he have brought that letter and be like, look, this is the letter that they summoned, that somebody hired me to make this forgery with?
Or even better, yeah, couldn't they have done a handwriting analysis?
Handwriting
on it?
analysis, yep.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I-
Like, if he had the letter that presumably was written by Christoph, and he had no reason not to bring that letter,
Why not?
unless there was like
Didn't
a
he not
second
wanna-
layer of plans from Christoph that was like,
Did he not want to? I'm pretty sure he didn't want to reveal who forged it. Or
well,
whatever.
the letter doesn't say that it was Vera, was it? Did it?
The
I
letter.
don't.
No, it's
No.
in the letter.
No.
No, the letter. The only basically it just shows evidence of the transaction, and it's to or I forget if it was to or from, but it was to or from the person who ordered the forgery.
Yeah, it was. It's to Drew. I just found a letter context from red envelope.
And
Where was the
Misha
red
made
envelope?
a point in court to say like, I don't know who ordered the forgery. I never made contact with that person, which
Yeah.
would have been a perfect opportunity to fucking find out in court whether it was Phoenix or not. But you know, it's fine.
I don't know, Joseph. That sounds like it would make sense.
Well,
I presume. I assume that Meesham received the red letter before he was brought to the stand. Otherwise,
probably.
Yeah,
I mean, he
I'm
could
almost
have. It
positive-
could have been
I'm almost
after
positive
that.
he had- Well, in my opinion, it's unlikely because, like, he basically got the forgery done like a week before, if not a bit earlier, because the trial I think was supposed to be like a week before or some crap.
It got held off. It got canceled or so.
Yeah, because
Whatever
I
the
think
fuck
partially because the attorney changed or something. But yeah,
Because wasn't the attorney originally supposed to be Christoph?
yes,
Yeah, but
we'll
then
get
he
more into
got
that.
kicked out.
Yeah, we'll get more into that later. Believe me, we'll get more.
But
You
what
will?
I'm saying now is, like, if Meesham had this letter, which was written by Christoph, he should have brought it into court. There's no reason he wouldn't have brought it into the court, which then would have revealed that Phoenix did order the forgery.
I mean, honestly, yeah. But it doesn't even necessarily convict Christoph, but it does prove Phoenix did fucking order for the letter to be
Or
made.
if they do a handwriting analysis, and they'll find out that Christoph
True.
wrote it and not Phoenix.
Which at least in my opinion, is a very important point because they made a point to say like Phoenix got in trouble with this and he received the harshest punishment.
Mhm.
You can't convince me that isn't in part because they
It'd
think he
be
ordered
like
it
that. Sometimes.
True.
That's
Actually-
I don't remember when the letter. Like, I don't think they say when the letters.
Actually, here's a good question. This is set in the future. What year is the game set in?
First game is 2016. Turn is 2018. This is 7 years later.
Why
so
the
it should
fuck-
be 2025, I think.
Why is he sending letters when he should be sending emails or fucking texts?
Oh no,
I think
no,
I explained
Mission only receives letters. That's why.
Oh, is that okay?
They just didn't like the technology, I guess.
Mission at the very
Mission
least.
is old
Yeah,
fashioned.
that's what I'm saying.
Mission is old fashioned.
Yeah.
Okay.
My connection was
forgot about
fucking
that.
up again, but I didn't hear what you guys were saying. I don't know if you heard what I said, but
Mission likes mail, not email. # boomer.
damn.
Yeah.
But
I
also
agree.
like the letter creates the if he had a letter before he was put on the stand, that's like a plot hole.
I wouldn't say it's a plot hole.
Well, if he had the letter, he would have shown it, and they would have.
Well, okay. Why are you
Well, he's
convinced he would have?
His witness.
Yeah. Well, why would he bring the
They
letter that
probably-
would?
Because
Nail his client.
he's here to testify that he wrote this letter.
Yeah,
I think,
That
I think the way
he
that-
wrote the note.
I
He
think we
requested
can all
this
agree that it
for
was
this
handled a
forgery to
bit
be
poorly.
made.
The forgery thing.
Sorry?
I think we can all agree that the forgery was kind of handled a bit poorly.
It was
Yeah.
not handled well.
And I don't think anyone's arguing that.
Yeah, no. Not gonna hear me.
So, yeah.
Actually, I think
all I
it was
was-
the best.
Fuck you, stupid idiot!
Uh,
I mean, I was building up to say is just like I think I'm starting to see things more Joseph's way now.
How dare you?
Yeah, Ruben. By all means, I'm glad you're understanding my side. By all means, I'm trying to convince you to like feel the same way I do. But I'm glad that I'm not just coming across as like the fucking contrarian that just wants to dislike the game just cause. At least I hope I'm not.
You're just
I know
insane.
the game has a lot of
Don't worry about it.
issues. I'm not.
Yeah,
trying to
I don't
argue
agree.
there.
I don't like disagree with a lot of the stuff Joseph says, but I think he takes that into his evaluation of the game too much.
I mean,
I mean, it's all
I see why
it's a
it's-
logic game. If you have a bunch of logical problems, then
I think
it makes
I
sense why it would.
Because to me, it's Because to me, that I can get more into it later, actually. But basically,
This is a game for intellectuals. So if you're not being intellectually stimulated,
you need to enjoy Rick and Morty to enjoy this.
you need to have a really high IQ to enjoy the Ace
Yeah.
Attorney series.
I agree.
I'm very smart.
Hey, you want to give me like a minute to pull up the Rick and Morty Kappa pasta and just replace Rick and Morty with Ace Attorney?
that actually
Oh,
reminds
yeah.
me of Rick and Morty. I forgot if it was a fan thing, but basically, Morty is the judge and Rick's like on trial for something, and it's just like them going.
Oh, I remember that.
Going at each
No,
other.
yeah, it was like an actual. It was an actual trial.
It was.
That that was an actual
that's
trial.
right. It was an
that
actual
happened.
trial that they like voiced over with like either for the actual voice actors or like fan voices or something. I forget.
I think it was fan voices.
Which they
But,
really did
it was pretty
impressions,
funny.
They were. But yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Anyways, let's move on to the Mason system.
Oh boy.
Okay, is this okay? I know I brought it up, but no one bothered by the fucking time paradox.
No, no. I'm
Everybody
bothered.
is
All
bothered.
of us
I think
are
that here, I think
Okay.
that when I was looking up the case to like refresh myself, there was something on the wiki that I feel like it's kind of a cop out to say this, but for what the wiki says about the Mason system is that in order to progress, certain items from the present must be occasionally retrieved and presented to people in the past, and this was likely done to provide an easier logical path for the player / the jury, which because like the thing is that the Mason system is being played by the jury. Like
Yeah,
that's what the game is
understand
saying.
But how is that?
Like, what the fuck?
Like basically, it also says consequently sequence of events as they transpire for the player/jury in the Mason system is not a completely accurate representation of what actually happened.
What?
That's dumb. That's
That's a
stupid.
massive cop out. What the fuck?
That's
What?
stupid. That's what the wiki says.
This whole
That's what the
fucking
wiki says.
trial
But
is
it's
a joke.
stupid.
Wow. Somehow
It's
I'm the
stupid
least
and it's
pissed off
dumb.
by that. That's impressive.
It's dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
Fucking stupid. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh no,
What
I
the
agree. It's
fuck?
stupid.
They
But
make
you know,
a
every single one
stupid
of you
way to
guys have
present-
fucking volatile.
Or it's a gaping hole in the game that just makes it worse.
Unfair.
It's a stupid way to present.
Be fucking.
All right, I think.
It's
Okay,
a really dumb way to present the case
Okay.
if that's the intended way for it to be presented.
I think this is a good time for
That's
this
not a
question.
trial. That's just like a video.
Well, Phoenix did
Yeah.
say it's a game, but anyway, sorry.
He did say that. It's a game that the jury is playing.
Okay, but no, but jokes aside,
Is it Unreal
What was
Engine?
the whole trial thing with Apollo then for?
well, oh my god, this is great. How did you guys interpret what the Mason system is? Did you think it was a simulation that the jury is playing, or recorded events of what Phoenix actually did?
I definitely was like the former more than the latter.
Okay, so more like a simulation. Okay.
I was not sure.
But then if
Because
it's a
Phoenix, because
simulation,
they give you this whole thing of Phoenix like, this is a game that you're playing.
Was that what that was? Okay, that.
Yeah,
that's-
Phoenix shows up. He's like, this is a game that you're playing, and blah blah blah, whatever. I don't actually give a shit when you continue
but
playing the
like
game.
it.
how is that accurate? Not testimony, evidence.
But it, like, yeah, if
Whatever.
it's not actually what happened, then what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean,
You could
this is just
say
making it
whatever
worse.
you wanted to say.
Making it worse.
Yeah.
You could say it's forgery.
You could literally just be like, oh yeah, it was
Fucking
Christoph
Phoenix,
Gavin.
One that's super trusted to like give all this like information of, yep, this is what happened, guys.
Trust me, don't worry about it.
Source,
So-
dude, trust me.
Here's how I kind of viewed it, right? I feel like the game kind of had wanted to have its cake and eat it too, where
Oh, what do you mean? Kind of? It
I
did.
hate
Well-
That's exactly what happened.
yeah, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean, where they wanted to have like this cool simulation experience that the player goes through, while also having it where it's like practically Phoenix recorded what happened, like for most of these things, and it's basically like what he did, just slightly restructured, I guess, for the player/jury's sake. It's stupid as fuck, but I see what they're going for. It's a shame that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I agree with
I
Joseph. I
see what they were
understand what
going
they're
for,
doing,
too, and it was,
and it's just weird.
it was
It's
bad.
terrible. Like the Mason systems, like conceptually, it's cool, but it doesn't
Yeah.
work from a logical perspective, and in my opinion, it doesn't work from a story or gameplay perspective either. Like I think Joseph should take over the gameplay aspect of it because he'd be able to explain it better. But it's accurate to my experience of doing the Mason system.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess if you want, I can get into the gameplay stuff now, or we can move on to.
I can also
No,
speak
go ahead
to
with
that.
the gameplay stuff now. Let's do the gameplay stuff.
So obviously the way the way it works is that you're in separate rooms, right? And you have to solve each room at a time to unlock new rooms and obviously get evidence from each room, right?
Mhm.
And you're starting off with only stuff in the past. Like at first it starts out fine, right? You're just in the past. You're just trying to solve the room, moving from room to room to collecting stuff. It's a bit weird that because I don't know how many players would assume that you have to go to multiple rooms before you can solve any one room. If I were to play, I think first time for me, I'm thinking I have to solve like one room at a time instead of having to like get stuff from a bunch of rooms, just because the time frames don't technically match up, right? So you're like,
Yeah,
okay.
that's the first confusion.
So it's like, okay, well, I'm not doing these all like, at the same time, at least in the past. So, how am I able to do this? But it's not that weird. Then you get your first future room, and then you get something and have to go back to the past presented, and it's like,
wait,
what?
do you? When?
When? Oh, dude, it happens like multiple times where it happens.
Like that's what we're complaining about.
Yeah, you have to
putting
go. I
the
barely,
time paradox
I
bullshit.
don't remember all the examples, but one particular example that's very important in my opinion is going to Kristoff's jail, getting the nail polishes evidence, and then presenting it to Vera in the past.
Oh yeah, you do have to do that. Never mind.
That's like the main thing. It's
That's like
what
the
fuck?
worst example of it happening. Cause it's like,
What do you mean the best example?
Well, okay, the worst. The worst. How should I put it?
The most egregious example.
Most
Yeah, the most
egregious.
egregious example. Yes. But okay, so I'll move on to that like, in a little bit. First, I want to get at is You have no reason to believe you can present stuff in the. You should be presenting future stuff in the past. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Nor does it make sense that you're like moving between rooms as fluidly as you do. But also, the way the Mason system handles presenting evidence is very awkward because most of the time you present any evidence to them and they don't react at all. They literally only react to like the one or two important pieces of evidence. So
Yeah.
what that makes you do, what happens, at least practically speaking, is the player is de-emphasized from presenting evidence. Yet, especially later on, you have to present certain evidence to move on.
Hmm.
So the game's like working against itself. So you're just stuck, like trying to figure out what to do.
I agree with that. I thought it was really
Yeah.
confusing for me. There was
I
like,
didn't think it was confusing. It just was dumb and didn't make logical sense.
and then like I really enjoyed having to use the Magatama again. I missed that a lot, but like there was one point where like I was like, I remember it was in the Borscht Bowl Club. You needed to like present the right thing to Zach Gramery, and like I didn't think I had enough evidence for the Magatama. And then
Oh, yeah, that
having
was
to
an
go
issue I
through
noticed.
all the different ones,
Yeah, right.
having to
It's like
find.
that happened multiple times. You don't think you have enough evidence to continue, or just not to mention literally everyone's like, oh yes, we all have super duper hard Cyclops. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, right. No,
I actually, I actually think I remember that as well.
the best part about
where,
the Zach Romero. Oh, sorry, I thought you were first. Go on.
I remember having issues with the Magatama and the Mason system because it's like the evidence that you have to present doesn't exactly align with the statement that's on screen. So it's like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, another funny thing to consider.
Like, that's happened before with the Magatama, and it happens after with the Magatama, but it's most obvious here.
I want to point something funny out. So the Mason system is like the jury, like literally seeing into Phoenix's past, right? So they're seeing him hold a magical item and look into people's minds and souls. Like, yes, I can see your deepest and darkest desires with this magical item.
Hey, yo, why this guy got black locks on his soul? What the hell?
hey, what?
We will get to that. I swear. Okay. One thing I want to point out with the Zach
Oh
Romero
yeah, that was
movie,
the best part about it.
the Zach Romero room, you reminded me. You end that room and you think, oh, you're done with it, but you're not finished with the room yet.
Yeah, that was so stupid.
Like the game forces you out of the room, but you're not done with it because you have to go back at like near the end. With the
What are you
There's that
Cyclops.
one more,
With
and
the
that's
Zach, okay, so with the Zach Romero room, I think it's like you find the Cyclops, but you can't solve it yet. But once you go through all the dialogue and present certain evidence, it flashes to white, and then you move on. But then you have to go back to the room to solve the Cyclops, even though you technically already finished talking to Zach.
You didn't do the Cyclops yet, so
I don't really remember that.
you
I've played
summoned
that
that.
It's very confusing that the game like forces you out of the room when you're not done, and doesn't let you leave on your own volition. But
I mean, all the Cyclops. It's cool to do it again, but it doesn't do it very well, in my
like
opinion.
I like how complicated they are. Well, to a certain degree, right? I like how complicated they are, that they're like pretty kind of difficult to solve. I just don't like how fucking awkward it is, like collecting the evidence for them and whatnot.
Oh, but that's the
Yeah.
thing. Literally everyone is like, oh fuck, everyone's super difficult. God, what the hell?
No, it is tiring to have
Why
them
is-
all in a row.
Why is literally everyone like, I have a super duper secret? Go fuck yourself.
Like,
eat
could
shit.
you imagine? Like, hear me out, right? What if this was like a case where Phoenix and Apollo were just working on it together, right? And you start out maybe with the flashback sequences, with like the flashback trial and Phoenix's investigation right afterwards, and then you move into the Apollo shit, and then Phoenix is working with him like that, particularly in the investigation. My opinion, at least, wouldn't that have been much better paced and just exciting?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly
the
thought
Mason
pace was-
system in general is just really not
Garbage.
well thought out.
I thought the
It's a
Mason
cool
system was
concept,
just
I guess.
Apollo like going through Phoenix's like past and like seeing it, and
Is
not
it
the
Apollo or
jury.
is it the jury?
I thought it was literally
the
just
jury.
us going back in
It's
time.
it's
Because Apollo knows what happened because he
Well,
presents
yeah,
evidence
right.
from Phoenix's
so
flashback.
how the game describes
But here's the
it-
thing: if it were Apollo, then Apollo would have known by the end that him and Trucy are siblings.
Yeah,
Oh, what?
yeah.
Wait, what the fuck?
Yeah, okay, so here's how it went
Wait.
down. The jury played the Mason system, and then Apollo at the beginning of the next trial was like, oh yeah, Mr. Wright gave me all the information and evidence for the case. Now I'm ready.
Wahoo.
So he didn't actually play through the Mason system. He just received all this shit. and now
No,
he's
but
in
he
it.
even like says like he presents the letter and he's like, "This is what Phoenix found in his thing. He had a camera on his thing."
Yeah, it's like Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix
So he
would
didn't
follow
even
everything
watch it?
except-
Phoenix gave it to him.
I guess not.
Tom, he didn't need to watch.
Damn,
Tom. He
you
was
telling me
part of
that
it.
you telling me that the whole jury is aware that Apollo and Trucy are related, but Apollo and Trucy don't get to know that?
And they never
That's kinda
will.
funny.
Two games later, they still don't fucking know.
All right.
Fuck it. Phoenix is like, nah, I can't tell him, and then Lamawa's like, nah, you can't, nah, I can't tell him either. The whole fucking
I
jury
guess
who
we just
knows.
gotta fucking not tell him.
The whole jury who knows. Hey, that's.
Huh.
Speaking of that, I think I want to start talking about like particular information you learn in the Mason system, particularly what you learned from like Valent and what you learned from him, Zach and how much of a douche prick he is, and what was the third one? Oh yeah, Kristoff and like the mission like letter bullshit and whatnot. So what do you want to start with?
Sorry, can I
whatever
just
you-
finish up one thing?
Go
I
ahead.
kind of thought that the Mason system, like I mentioned, was just like Apollo going through Phoenix's memories. It's kind of weird having it like viewed as like, yeah, this is an official legal thing.
Well,
Okay.
here's the thing. I thought the Mason system was literally just us going back in time and being like, "Oh, here's what actually happened during the case. Now you as the
Okay.
player know this." Like
Yeah.
I didn't even fucking realize that the jury knew all this too.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Technically,
You know,
it's not
the
what
Mason
actually happened.
system is in canon.
Yeah.
Somehow, I mean, it's not even established
There was a
how
lot of
exactly
technology.
it works.
Yeah.
I guess one last
Oh
thing.
yeah, the fact that it's like, oh yeah, it works. We're never gonna use it again, or the jury system either. To be fair.
Yeah.
Just
Well, yeah, because
These
it's
effective things.
pretty shitty. Mason
I mean, I
system's
guess
not
then
good.
I guess the
with the context of the game, it's like, oh yeah, these were actually work pretty well.
So if
Never
if
use
the
it again.
jury system is not ever used again, does that mean the bad ending is canon? Question mark.
You mean
What bad thing?
shitty ass
Oh, the
bad
guilty
ending
ending?
where you just choose?
I didn't do
guilty?
that one.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I don't
You
think
could
What
it
happens
is,
on that one?
because
I didn't
I
do
believe
that.
in the bad ending, Lamawa doesn't regain her vision, so
She doesn't regain her memory. Vera sadly couldn't make it. She dies.
Ah, right. Of course.
completely unrelated to the choice made by the jury. But the fact that Lamawa is
Wait, how do you pronounce
Not
it? I thought it was like
blind,
memoir.
Lamewa.
and her memory.
Really?
Well, okay, technically Dylan told me it's Lamewa or something like that. Like, it has some different emphasis, but
I thought it was
I-
memoir.
I can't change it now.
This is Lamewa.
Basically, it has to be the good ending is the canon one, because if the bad ending was the canon one, then Phoenix wouldn't know that Trucy and Apollo are siblings.
True.
Wait,
Always
what?
get-
Would
always-
he?
always get
But
confused.
isn't he the one who constructed the Mason system?
Kind of, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
him,
but
Ella,
Lamawa
maybe?
doesn't tell him the truth until after at the end of
But
the game.
I was
No,
joking
he already
with
knew.
the-
He
I
already
was
knew.
joking with the bad ending thing anyway. I don't actually think it was good, but the
No,
fact
no,
that
but
it was never used again, I was just poking fun at it,
You know what my
well, no,
headcanon
it's
is?
not from. It's not because Lamar told Phoenix that they're sibling. It's because he found out on his own. Remember, he presented to
Yeah,
Zach
I'm pretty
Gremery.
sure.
Yeah, he presented. Yeah, I played this like literally like 4 hours ago, guys. He knew.
So,
Do trust me.
My-
trust me.
No, my new headcanon is that Gumshoe programmed the Mason system, and because he doesn't come back in the rest of the games, the Mason system doesn't come back either.
That's awful.
Damn.
No, okay, but that's just joking aside. Yeah. But anyways, do we actually want? Okay, do we want to keep on talking about how logistically bad the Mason system is, or actually talk about
No,
what
sorry
were
about
the
that.
other things
I
that
think-
you mentioned?
the concept again?
What were the other things that you mentioned?
I mean, well, you mean like the points to talk about? I talked about
Yeah.
Clavier and his like what happened with him, Zach and how much of a prick he is, and Kristoff and his involvement? Question mark? What could he possibly?
Hmm.
Oh.
Is there anything that we can
Yeah,
say
there
about
actually is.
Yes.
I thought it was weird how fucking in the future Kristoff keeps the yellow letter, even though that's like literal like proof that he's guilty.
Oh yeah, it's in his.
Oh, yeah,
office.
that too.
I mean, cell.
Yeah, but like he can still like say, "Hey, yo,
I
throw
also
this away
the
from
nail
me."
polish too. The nail polish container too. That's
Yeah,
another-
Damn,
French lady.
I
wanna
mean, the
be in
only
that
reason the
prison
nail
cell.
polish
Please.
container is like
I love
even, like,
Kristoff's
relevant is
prison
because-
cell.
time paradox bullshit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And also, Apollo presents it literally in court in the future. Or no, Apollo presents it in court, even though he apparently didn't do the Mason system. I mean,
Well,
I guess
'cause,
Phoenix gave him
Phoenix
the
got the evidence,
information.
right?
Yeah,
Phoenix gives him all the evidence. He said, "Here you go."
I'm not going to tell you what it was, but here it is.
No, Phoenix
Here's
gives
the
Apollo the
answer.
context for all the evidence, except obviously the stuff that involves Apollo and Trucy. But don't worry about that, Apollo.
Yeah.
It's okay. They don't need to know that.
All
That's
right.
not important.
With Kristoff, I have to really hold myself back from getting ahead of myself because there's so much I can say that I kind of want to hold off for the end / talking about like everything that happened.
Mhm.
So
I thought. Sorry. One more thing. I thought young Vera was pretty cute.
oh, she's adorable. She's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fan
See,
of the
Phoenix
Chimeric
was cute.
Ooh.
I was just gonna say, Ace Attorney does a really good job of making kids very visually appealing and not making me despise them.
Yeah,
Every fiber in my being. Usually, I hate kid characters.
I
I
agree.
think Ace Attorney does a pretty good job of making you not despise the children in it.
Ace Attorney makes you like kids, really love kids.
I mean, most of the kids are pretty cool,
Hmm.
with the exception
Hey,
of like some of the kids.
I didn't say that.
That's what I was trying to avoid.
Bro, you know the kids in Ace Attorney, man, they're pretty. They're
Yo, what the fuck? That is really weird.
Yo, children Ace Attorney fucking slap.
Yeah, man.
This is going on a public video.
So
God, if I cut
we're
it
just
out.
we're just sharing how much we love kids. Ace Attorney.
Exactly.
Okay, what if I just
Why do I
edit,
use
what if I just
sirens?
edit out only what I say? Believe in what Ruben said.
Your Honor, they're fiction.
It's a joke. Don't worry about it.
They're not real.
Your Honor, I'm an eternal
Here's what you should do, Joseph.
Oh God,
Edit.
just
Just edit.
that's
Edit
an
the video
actual
so that
argument people make. Just please.
Joseph, just edit the video so that so that while we're talking about this, just put every single child that's ever appeared in this series on screen.
Oh my god.
Hmm.
No, Your Honor, it's okay. Pearl is 18 eventually.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna ask you to shut the fuck up.
Hey man, Vera's 19 when we first meet her. Just saying.
Ugh, all right, shut up.
Your Honor, Trucy is 17 in the latest game. She's legal in Illinois.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh my.
Joseph, you just doxed us all.
Not if I edit it out. And
You didn't dox me. Fuck
Yes,
up.
you will. What are you talking
For the sake of fairness, Ian.
Joseph, you're gonna cut that out.
Yeah. I really have to cut out that you live in Michigan. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
I will kill each and every one of you.
Or was it Canada?
Let me just read Ian's IP address real quick.
You don't even fucking know my IP address.
That's what you think.
Guys, Ian's real name is Fluffy Fucker.
Hey, yo.
Yeah.
Ian's Discord tag is.
No, shut up. Nuh-uh.
His real name is Heron Heresy?
Actually, my name is Michael Hunt.
Ian's real name is spelled with an.
Hey, yo.
Fuck you.
That's actually
Fuck you, Tom.
Hey, that's actually
Fuck you.
identifiable, alright? If I tell anybody my
Yeah,
last
He's
name,
the only
actually,
person in the world with an E in his.
Well, then cut that out. I'm sorry.
I can.
I mean,
What if
cutting it
what
all
if
out.
I just cut out this entire segment and we just come
That's
back? and
probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I assume that the whole segment's gonna be cut out.
Thanks for all the editing, guys, including myself. Good job, Pat Joseph.
Ruben started this editing wrong. Ruben's
I
fault.
did not.
You know what? I'm actually gonna talk about something I like about in the Mason system. I like Valant. I think it's a really well constructed character.
Yeah, me
With
too.
a really
Oh,
good,
Valant-
with very layered.
Valen is a really nice character. I do
Yeah.
like him a
I
lot.
sure hope he doesn't do anything uncharacteristically malicious.
I mean, does he?
Does he?
No, I think it's characteristically malicious.
I think it's a
Yeah.
good
Ruben,
character.
are you referring to framing Zach for murder?
No, I was referring to committing murder.
Oh, yeah, it's
When?
okay. He doesn't do that.
He was going to, but
He was
almost
going
did.
to, but he
Yeah.
didn't.
No, but
That's
yeah,
what's
What is this
But
fucking Minority
then-
Report? He didn't. That's the point.
yeah, no, but I
But
really,
Khan, he didn't though. That's what we're getting at. He was going to, but then he didn't.
in my
Yeah,
opinion,
let me repeat myself. He didn't actually kill him, but he was going to.
Was he though? No.
anyways,
Actually, that's a good question.
but Valent, especially in Case 4, I think is one of the few characters that's actually fleshed out with like proper motivations and fucking.
To be fair, we've had the entire game to get to know him.
Well,
Yeah, we've
we
barely had
got to
him.
know him.
Well,
in
not the
Case 3.
entire game, but
And to
We
be
had
fair,
a-
in case 3, he was fucking annoying.
Yeah, like I'll be honest. If you removed him from Case 3, it practically wouldn't change how I feel about him in Case 4.
that's because Case 4 is a bad case. Sorry, Case 3 is a bad case.
Yeah. Well,
Case
yeah.
4
Pretty good
so is
case.
I
Case
mean,
4,
you were
but-
right. Both. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah. Okay. No, I just really like Valent and how like just how much thought they put into his character, which really at the same time in comparison makes Zack and Magnavi look like fucking clowns in comparison. Because
don't know,
Magnavi
I
is just a
I mean,
vindictive.
Zach is kind of a clown, you know.
Zach is a fucking idiot. Like, especially just, by the way, none of this probably would have happened. Or at least not as complicated if you just didn't fucking attack the girl.
Oh my. Okay. Yeah. Can we get into this?
Okay,
Yeah,
that didn't really make any sense.
wanna
I
get
don't-
into
why
Zach?
did he do that? Yeah, we might as well.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
just
go
want to say, I think Zach is the idea of Zach, the concept of Zach is really cool. But then they actually start to do his
The
character.
theory of Zach.
The theory of Zach is really, I really like the
theory
idea
of
of Zach randomly. But like seriously, like when you first meet Zach, he's like, oh, this guy's kind of cool, I like him. But then it just keeps going on and on. It's like, oh, this guy's kind of fucking stupid. And this guy's actually a retard.
Yeah, let's get into like the crux of like why we say that, right? Okay, so Zach like is all like, obviously we know he was a magician and disappeared and left his daughter.
I mean, we have talked about that a bit too. Like,
Yeah.
when you're talking about the forgery and how he had the actual evidence out of.
Yeah, so
Sometimes
that
we've proven him innocent.
yeah, but that's like quote unquote subtle compared to what we're about to talk about.
True.
Zach, okay, so obviously Zach, he doesn't get convicted because he pulls a disappearing act, goes in court, and leaves Trucy. So Phoenix has a razor, right? He comes back 7 years later to give Phoenix a letter that basically gives Trucy the rights to use the magic, right? But then he's also like, obviously the case 1 shit happens. Like, let's have a poker game, Phoenix, for old time's sake, and this time I'll win. And we know what happened in case 1, where he set Phoenix up to fail with a fucking cheat that he's supposed to get him with. And when he
Even
failed,
though he, in his words, it's like poker is how you truly see a person. He's not looking at the cards, he's looking at the person behind the cards.
yeah, well, the person behind the cards on Zach's side is a fucking asshole.
Exactly, yeah.
Is a poorly written character.
But not even just that, okay? So he wants to fuck over Phoenix's life, right? He just wants to get at him because he beat him at poker, supposedly. Phoenix is raising his fucking daughter. And Zach, I don't even think gives a single thank you for
I don't think
raising
so,
the
yeah.
daughter
Actually,
he
no, that
abandoned
doesn't.
and sequentially trying to fuck over the father's life.
I do want to point out, he does. What is it? He like kind of asks for Trucy how she's doing. He does ask.
He
how
asks about it, yeah.
Yeah, obviously it's very weird that he just doesn't. Obviously, he wants. He wants to make sure Trucy gets the letter because he does care about her. But it's like weird. It's implied he cares about her because he wants her.
It's
to have-
implied that he thinks he cares about her.
Like, I think I do. I can argue that Thanos cares more about Gamora than
Oh, he does care about Gamora.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Thanos and Gamora have a better father-daughter relationship than Zack and Trucy.
Oh, they actually okay. They don't even have a father-daughter relationship, so yes, they technically do.
So yeah.
So yeah, Zack is an asshole, like completely and utterly.
I think he's just a.
The
Bad.
only
I
nice
I feel
thing-
good. I'm happy that Trucy finally got like a father that cares.
in the form of
Yeah.
Phoenix, yeah.
Ooh.
But like, it's okay. It feels like it's implied that Zack's a pretty good father, but for whatever reason.
They do imply that, yeah, but he fucking isn't.
Yeah, he really is. But at the very least, after the disappearing act, he is-
After the case, yeah, he's a bad parent. But before that, he's fine.
He's a bad person.
yeah.
He's just a not a great person. Yeah,
the only
he
nice.
does physically abuse Brushel. That's true.
Yeah, he's fucking smacks around Brushel. He knocked the Olga Orly out. Like fucking, bro.
Why does he
Brushel
even knock
deserves
Olga
it.
out?
He's such an angry man.
Why does he even knock Olga out? I don't.
I
That's
think
because
it's because
G
Phoenix beat him.
or no,
It's 'cause
Phoenix
Phoenix
soft
beat
screwed.
him.
Yeah.
Was that really the only reason?
Well, it's because
Yeah,
like
'cause-
she like
'cause he
failed to do her
blamed-
job, quote unquote, right?
That's what he thought. Yeah.
Like fucking useless bitch, and then just like knocks her out. But um,
So
I don't think that's what he
he's a
said.
woman abuser too. Wonderful.
A little bit.
a
Yeah.
little bit. Um,
Right? He's just shit. He's terrible.
The only nice thing Zach does is when he finds out that Valent was going through shit because of like he can't use the magic
Oh,
and
that's-
whatnot.
Okay, that is actually true.
basically writes a fake confession that he's the one that killed Magnafy. And
Okay, again, that's why I say he's a badly written character, because it's like,
Yeah.
you get to the point where he's being a good person there. He's proving that Magnafy is innocent. It's just, it doesn't, his character just isn't well written. He contradicts himself. It
Yeah.
doesn't make any fucking sense.
And at least in my opinion, the way characters like react to him, it doesn't seem like the game wants you to think he's a complete asshole.
Well, exactly. Like, everyone acts like he's a pretty cool dude. He's pretty chill.
But he ain't. Yeah.
He's not chill at all.
No, he fucking
What-
beats women.
Don't they like kind of
He beats
try to honor
everybody.
him or whatever?
Actually, that's
at the
true.
end
He,
of the game?
he beats Brussel. He beats Olga.
This man is
I
less
feel
chill
like
than a
the
fucking
only
volcano.
person he hasn't beat is Trucy. Which
Oh
thank
my
God.
God.
And we don't even know that yet.
I feel like he doesn't do that. I don't think Trucy would think so fondly of him if he beat her.
True.
No, Zach beats everyone else, but Trucy beats him.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go with that. I don't fucking know. So yeah, Zach's an asshole.
So wait, do they like try to did they like try to like honor the guy at the end of the game? Like didn't they like put up a picture of him or whatever?
on the
Or was
piano,
that
I think
me?
so. Yeah, or on the wall next to the piano, or sorry, behind the piano. So I think so. but, like,
Yeah, he don't deserve it.
yeah, he doesn't deserve much. Related to Zach.
Okay, how about this?
Deserved what he fucking got.
Yeah, honestly.
He got what he fucking
You know what,
deserved.
Christoph? Thank you.
Okay,
Wow.
in my opinion,
Kristoff is the good guy? Question mark.
yes, that's what the game's about.
Closed.
Thumbnail that we're gonna.
3 a.m. Calling
Contacting-
Christoph at 3 a.m.
I'm gonna contact me and Zach at 3 a.m.
We break
picked up.
Kristoff's Black Cyclops? Question mark.
Yeah, I think the game is trying to set up that Zach is a cool character and show guy he's actually a decent person. But because the game has a lot of like writing issues, it's like, yes, Zach's a cool guy. Fucking beats up Russia. Zach's a cool guy. He's a good parent.
Knocks the fuck out of Olga.
Yeah, bandits Trucy. Knocks out Olga.
Knocks out a completely random woman.
Kills his wife.
Hey yo, what?
Oh,
Hey, we don't know if that was him or Valen, alright?
No, that's implied both him and Valent think they killed her.
Yeah.
And then they just like fucking. You think you killed her, and then you just. How do you lose a person you think is dead, but who actually isn't?
Oh, that's
I
cool.
want to.
That's
That's its own fucking.
I kind of
can
want
of
to get into like
worms.
Magnafy with that, where it's like his scheme is to blackmail Zach and Valent, and it's implied that he does it because he hates them for basically killing his daughter, but he knows she's alive.
But she didn't die.
Does he?
Does he?
Well, I mean, someone has. Someone has to. But yeah, I'm almost positive he knows she's alive because. What was the reasoning why I think so? I have it in my notes, I think, but it's basically like, how else?
I
did
would.
she
I
get,
would
like,
very much
sent
like to
away?
hear your reason. Well, okay, I don't even think we can see because
You know, I don't-
just never gets touched upon. It's like it's somewhat important part that just we don't fucking know anything.
Oh, you know what? No,
about.
I remember
that's
how.
just
I
kind
didn't
of
realize.
I think that's kind of
but-
Apollo Justice and like its whole like it's like there's a lot of really important parts, but like we're gonna barely touch on it. You know, you can
Pretty
just
much.
trust me, it makes
Well,
sense.
that's-
Just trust me.
the
You
whole,
don't have to
like-
explain it. It makes sense.
The whole Grimmer like group kind of sucked.
I agree.
And somehow Valent.
I think the
like,
whole way
well, no,
they do
Trucy.
magic is fucking stupid. Just magicians in general in the Ace Attorney series are stupid. They're like, oh, we can't reveal our tricks.
The only time I like Magicians in Ace Attorney is probably Spirit of Justice.
I think that case was pretty fun, but like I still remember the issue was like, oh, we still can't reveal our tricks, kind of.
Again?
Yeah, I'm not gonna go into detail, but that's like easily my favorite case involving magic in Ace Attorney.
Yeah, I agree.
Relatively, I'm guessing.
Well, I just love that case in general, honestly. Save for
Yeah,
for
all the
us-
characters in it are fun too.
Yeah,
You're
save
Yeah,
for
I
the main
agree.
prosecutor.
I think that's the
but
best case in the game, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway.
What do you mean? The
yeah,
prosecutor is one of the best parts of that case.
Ian, I will shove Sadmati's dick up your ass.
Oh yeah, give it to me.
I kind of fucking asked for that, Joseph.
No, I did ask for that because I want Ian to have a good time and Sadmati to have a bad time.
Well,
How do you know Sadmati would have a bad time?
How do you know?
Because he's either only into
Are
Apollo.
you calling me fucking ugly?
Undertale?
Are you saying I'm fucking ugly, Joseph? Are you saying I'm
No.
repulsive?
No, Ian, I'm saying that you would be rough with Sadmati and he wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yes, I'd break some of these dick off my hands. This is definitely
made
this
of
is
glass.
Yeah, honestly.
somebody's ass or my ass.
I don't know, man.
That's where you say yes.
I mean, Sadmati wears a pair of anal beads on his neck or all that. No, okay.
Oh, no, you're right. He does.
And
But
Anyway.
That's definitely not offensive towards any religion. I swear.
I swear. But anyways,
this is a very saucy podcast.
yeah, sauce. Do we want to talk
What do you
about?
say?
Do we want to talk about Magazine more, or do we want to talk about the bracelets that Zach and Phoenix talk about?
I think we could. I think we kind of need to go a bit faster, otherwise we're going to be here all fucking night.
Yeah,
I think we can talk about
this is
bracelets.
going.
I think there's just a lot to cover with case 4.
Yeah.
No, it's bullshit.
To be fair, I think the Mason
wait,
system was a
what's
big
up
part
with the-
about it. So.
Yeah, the Mason system is
Yeah.
the stuff we're going to talk about the most about, honestly.
Yeah.
But so who has
But I
a question?
agree. I do agree.
The
Yeah, Con?
bracelet thing you were talking about?
Well, yeah, because the game doesn't really have a defined explanation of how they work. Like,
Yeah, they do.
you said, yeah, they do.
You want me to explain it?
Go ahead.
So the bracelets are basically they react to like tension in other people. So like they like sense like heat and like kind of like nervousness, and in return they tense up your wrist basically. So you can tell when someone else is feeling nervous, and then it comes down to vision. So you can focus at a certain point. So like, okay, my bracelet is reacting. This must mean they're like nervous and they're hiding something. And then like the Magnifeed line. They have really good eyesight, basically, like very good kinetic vision. So
isn't it more like a sixth sense they kind of have?
it might be.
I feel like they kind of said
they
it.
explained it when they explained it saying like an athlete can see like a fastball like as if it were like
Fair.
like slow, basically.
There might be a little bit of synesthesia there, you know.
Well, Tom,
But that's how they explained it.
Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, though. They said, like, they have the sixth sense, but they can't, like... Oh, damn it, Ruben's gone again. They have the sixth sense, but they need the bracelet to, like, control it, to harness it. Does that sound right?
Kinda, yeah. Well, they
use the
know
bracelet to
it-
help them hone it.
No, they use the
better.
bracelet to like know when to focus, basically.
Okay.
It's fair.
Because here's the reason why I asked. Because, okay, I have this in my own. Like, do they need the bracelet or not? Because if so, how did
Well,
Trucy help
I'd say-
Phoenix with poker?
No, true. Okay,
They
it's
mentioned
literally
that.
said in game that Trucy is so good at it. She's like the best they've ever any
No.
actor she's ever been.
Well, in poker, like Trucy was like, "Oh, it's obvious when they're going to try to hide stuff." Basically,
Doesn't Zach say
I'm
Trucy's
pretty
like
sure the explanation is that the rings let you like do the perceive thing, and Trucy's not actually doing that perceive thing. She's just reading people. You're like, poker, it's easy.
Well, doesn't I swear to God,
That's what I.
doesn't
what I
Zach
sort
say
of
that
thought as
Trucy's
well.
just so good, such a natural at it that she doesn't even need the bracelets?
No,
I
but,
swear
like,
to God,
The
doesn't
game
he say
says that
that?
she
Well,
does it
even in the
without
first-
thinking, because poker makes
even
you
in
Yeah.
the first case,
I
she
think
was
she's
like,
just
"I don't even notice something. You notice something? Your eyesight must be better than mine." So I think the bracelet does help. Honestly,
the
There's just,
bracelet
like,
is like
more-
stacking the benefit.
It's more like an instinctual thing, more of like a gut feelings thing without the bracelet.
Right.
For someone like Trucy, but the bracelet helps channel it, I guess.
boom.
Yeah.
This.
Yeah, I don't,
That's what I
didn't
felt,
mean to harp
but
on it
I
too
do
much.
understand Joseph's criticisms, though.
Yeah. I don't mean to
They
harp on it
explained
too
it.
much. It's
If
just-
Trucy
they
had a
explained it pretty
bracelet, then she would be perceiving everything. Unstoppable. She sees all things.
I thought Zach said that she just was like a really like even better at it than or maybe he said it was his
He might have said that.
Or
but
like,
I mean,
it's
we're basically
Lam-
just talking about how
Lammerlore.
it works.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that played more into how she didn't need a bracelet. I could be just misremembering. It's
But in the first case, Trucy says she doesn't see something that Apollo does. That when Apollo feels his bracelet react, and Trucy said, "Really, I didn't see anything." So like, obviously, the bracelet will help like to see stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It's just something I want to bring up. More importantly, I think to end off the Mason system, I want to talk about Kristoff and the cell and the.
Oh my gosh, that was the best part.
He's in jail.
Really though?
It's a good.
No, Thomas. Okay, actually, yeah. Why the fuck is he in a suit in the cell and he has like all this fancy shit in there with him? What's that about? Is that just because he's like fucking like a big famous high up guy?
Yeah, dude. The fucking Ace Attorney games have a hard on for fucking.
Like I know
lawyers
there's a thing
that
where
aren't
prisoners.
Yeah, right.
Prisoners can like read books and whatever. I know, but I don't know. I didn't know they could have like a bookcase and a fancy chair or whatever.
They
He had like
Christoph,
real.
Christoph
At
said
least
he
not
has
in America.
Friends.
Well,
He
you-
has he's friends with the guards basically, and they give him like amenities.
Okay, in some parts of the world, that is a thing where because their whole point is that America's kind of has a pretty fucking god awful prison system. America's kind of well known for that, I think.
True.
Yeah.
Other parts of the world actually give you like nice prison cells and whatnot, like that you have shit because they want you to like they want to actually rehabilitate you and get you back to society as a
That
functioning human
actually
being.
reminds me of A Clockwork Orange, which I watched very recently.
Never
Anyway.
seen it.
I can't speak too much
recommend it.
on it since I've never been to prison and anywhere outside the
However,
United States.
also the fact that the main thing is just that he's in a fucking suit. That's not a thing.
Yeah.
Well, he would be in a jumper or something.
Oh yeah, I didn't really kind of.
That part.
I
Obviously,
didn't
it was
really.
like it was laziness, I would imagine, or just like a budget cut.
Yeah, no,
Giving
laziness.
him like a
Also-
second novel.
Also, it probably would, at least
Right.
in the designer's opinion, damper Kristoff's image if you had to see him in a yellow orange jumpsuit.
True.
But yeah, so let's
He was
talk.
in jail. He should have. He should have been in a jumpsuit.
I think this is kind of where we start talking about like what Kristoff was doing, right? Because obviously we know he's the one that ordered the forgery. And in my
He
opinion, the
just
Mason
wanted to win.
in my opinion, you can argue the Mason system from like in store, like from Phoenix's perspective, was made to indict Kristoff.
Yeah, entirely. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's like that's
Oh,
like, why.
yeah.
Like why did jury go through the Mason system to indict Kristoff? Like that's it.
Hello,
yeah.
you are about to experience a completely neutral and unbiased trial. Now watch this slideshow I prepared about why Kristoff is fucking evil.
Like the PowerPoint night for, when we came
Why
back from.
Kristoff is evil?
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, wouldn't Phoenix not even really be allowed on the trial because he has a
No, of course not.
yeah. He's like
They never
Pretty much
explain that
like
either.
this.
Why? Like, why?
I'm here to help with the jury system. Didn't you get disbarred 7 years ago? Nah, don't worry about it.
But I'm not a lawyer, which means I have knowledge of the courtroom, which means I'm perfect for this job.
See,
I agree.
I'm neutral. I'm completely neutral because I'm not
completely
a
neutral.
lawyer nor prosecutor.
And let's just have the victim in this case, be the same guy that got me in trouble for forgery 7 years ago.
Hey, yo.
Unrelated, though.
well, technically they didn't really know that though. They didn't know it was
Yeah, I know.
stuff. But
Well, no, but
It is-
Drew Mission
no,
was
No, I'm talking about Drew Misham.
oh,
We're
sorry.
putting this case as
Oh,
the
you're right.
first case for the jury system.
Phoenix, right? You have a good reputation, right? Let's let you handle it.
Yeah, you definitely aren't like. You definitely wouldn't have any reason to dislike this case or anything, or try to sabotage it at all.
Hey, wait a minute. You don't have any ulterior motives with this case, do you?
Nope, definitely not.
And he makes a
No?
fucking
Okay.
simulation. Holy shit.
No, I think
Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, no, I think the funniest part of the funny fan thing is like, yeah, we don't know who else is on the jury, so it could be Lamewa, Gumshoe, Maya, Edgeworth.
I can kinda understand. I can kind of understand like having Phoenix like help develop the system and stuff, like or just like the jury system, like kind of like him, like he's a smart guy, you can like he can be on like as an advisor, but like he fucking like makes the whole simulation.
He's in charge
thing.
of everything.
He chooses the jury members. Like that's way too fucking much.
Yeah, like especially with like Lamiwa at the end, she's literally asking like, are you sure I'm supposed to be a juror here? Am I related?" And he's like, "No, it's about if you're related to the events of the case, not anything at all. Don't worry, Lamiwa." She's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah.
It's only about the murders of several of your troop mates and family members. Don't worry about it.
Despite like 50% of what the fucking simulation being about you.
Oh
You're not
yeah.
related at all. Don't worry.
No, it's okay. Don't worry about it.
You're only the prime motivation for 4 of these people.
Yeah. Speaking of motivation, then Black Cyclops though.
What about them? They're pretty cool.
No.
They're
Okay.
they're very spooky wild.
I actually want to ask, what do you guys think of the Black Cyclops?
I think
That
I
was
already.
kind of underwhelming. I think like a Black Cyclops should have been like, "Whoa, it's got to be this huge secret."
There were too many. By that point in the case, we'd already seen like what fucking 4 of them on every
Well,
person.
four, like,
These
normal,
are black. The others were red.
Don't we see them on other?
What are
folks,
these?
though?
No, we don't.
No,
we don't
Black
see them on
Cyclops.
anybody else.
Okay, I'm
Black Cyclops
misremembering.
are
Maybe
unique.
in a future game, honestly.
No,
I'm not
yeah.
thinking
Cool
that's
design,
future
Joseph.
games.
I know, yeah, it's you're Ian. I think you're thinking of future games. I'm not gonna say where you see them. Just that,
I still do think that we just by that point we've seen so many Cyclops that it's supposed to be impossible to solve that it's like, oh, okay, all right then, fuck you two, I guess.
Tom.
The point is that the Black Cyclops cannot be broken.
Tom.
What?
What do you guys
Tom
think of the Black
first?
Cyclops?
I'm-
I'm okay, Rachel.
I want to talk about Black Cyclops, but not everybody has played the future games, which would talking about the Black Cyclops would affect that.
No, I get what you mean.
I mean-
but, well, kind of. Okay, so I guess I'll address your point, Ruben, because I think we can still talk about it regardless of that. At least I can.
I want to say what the Black Cyclops means, but that's a spoiler for for a future game.
I no.
Wait, I was gonna say like what it means.
I would just
yeah.
say
Do not say what it means.
Okay.
For God's sake.
Alright.
So
Con, okay.
Let's
Mute yourself
introduce
for a
you
second.
guys to somebody
Yeah.
called Anton Chekhov and his gun.
It doesn't.
No,
It's not a Chekhov's gun situation.
It 100%.
It's
is.
not. They bring it. It's a completely separate situation when Black Cyclops come up again in the series. It's
I'm talking about
It's
within the
entirely
game.
yeah, but Ruben,
unrelated.
within Apollo Justice though.
what about it? I don't
Well, it's
elaborate.
brought up- it's made to be a big deal during the Mason system, and then it's never brought back again, especially in regards to Kristoff.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
What's your point?
The point is that the Black Cyclops, like many points in this case, are not concluded. Or lead
Yeah, I
to
mean, the
anything.
Black Cyclops.
That's not Chekhov. Am I not remembering what Chekhov's gun means? Because that's not Chekhov's gun. If
Chekhov's gun is basically the principle that if you, with using the metaphors of the gun, if you introduce a gun in the story, then by the end of it, that gun must be fired.
yeah,
Which
so it's not
essentially means
Chekhov's
anything
gun
you
because that doesn't
establish-
happen.
Sorry?
It's not Chekhov's gun because that doesn't happen, right?
Well, yes, but actually no. That's a principle. But it means anything you establish or set up in the story must be resolved by the end of it. And
Okay,
this is
then
not
what-
resolved.
there's kind of a lot of Chekhov guns though in the story. Like you
Yeah,
guys are talking
I
about
know.
portraits everywhere for one thing.
I think you can argue we have an entire militia of Chekhov's guns.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Which is
them.
the problem.
They kind of just basically give for my related thoughts. It's a cop out. The Black Cyclops are a cop out in this game for Kristoff's motive. To me, what it says to me is we couldn't bother giving him an interesting motive. So here's these Black Cyclops to pretend he does.
Actually, you know what? Now that I remember, I actually do hate the Black Cyclops. Like, why the fuck does he do this?
I mean, we know what his motive is, that he doesn't want anybody to know about the fucking thing that he did.
Yes and no.
Actually, I guess his motive is that. I guess he does explain why
The motive
what his
is-
motive is, but
The people who were involved with that case need to go because they can expose me.
Okay, here's how the game presents it and how I interpret it. This is how Kristoff's motive. Because Zach Romero chose Phoenix over Kristoff due to a poker game, mind you, Kristoff decides to fuck over Phoenix's career, kill
Yeah.
Vera to hide his attraction of his evidence forging, and kill Zach because he obviously knew Kristoff would originally represent Zach, and thus is a
He's
possible
petty.
angle of proof towards Kristoff forging
It's
evidence.
also just
Petty.
it's also that
He's
He's
got a
a- he's-
huge superiority complex.
that's the thing. He has a
And
massive ego.
He
can't.
refuses to be like he refuses to be behind anybody.
Yeah, he
But-
can't accept that that what he considers to be
He
such a
wants to be
stupid
the top.
reason. He can't accept that such a stupid reason was used to choose Phoenix over him. Is the thing. Even though the entire point of that was that Zach could, when he was playing poker with both of them, Zach saw what kind of person both of them were. He said that Kristoff was kind of a shitty person. That was kind of the entire
But
point.
like that is the point, and it makes sense. He's a terrible person, and he
And
only
Chris-
cares about himself.
Yeah, and
so
he can't see it.
yeah,
He's too big boy ego.
he
to-
thinks he's the smartest and best person in the whole world. So
Also, by the way, he clearly had like a pretty good relationship with Vera. So his murder plot was him giving nail polish to Vera and sending a stamp, but like they didn't fucking die,
So
and then
here-
like for
It
7
was
years
complete-
he let
I think
them
it was,
live.
and it was by complete chance that they didn't die. I think it was.
Yeah, but no, he
Yeah.
let them
To
live. Like he
to
kept them
use
alive.
this. He instructed Drew to use the stamp.
but
and then
Vera
Drew
liked
just
it so
didn't.
much. No, Vera
Well, that's
liked
because
so
it
much
was
that
a
he kept
grammar
it.
stamp.
Grammar
That's the
stamp,
entire
and Vera
reason.
wanted to keep it. So
And
yeah,
then Vera was supposed to put on the nail polish and then
No, she
bite her
did.
nails.
Just,
she
I
never-
guess she just didn't
So-
go outside.
so-
all the
Yeah.
time.
Okay,
He
here-
said
no.
he told her, yeah, you have to use this outside.
So here's okay. So
No, it was a good luck charm to keep her
Kristoff's
safe.
plan is completely
Yeah.
contrived.
If you ever have to go outside.
Yeah.
His plan was okay. So for Vera, he noticed while meeting her that she bites her nails a lot, right? Phoenix
Yeah,
noticed it
when
too.
she's nervous.
So he
Yeah.
So when
figured,
she's
oh,
nervous, she bites her
oh,
nails.
okay,
That's
I'll
what
give her nail polish. And he, like you guys said, he instructs her to go outside with it because he knows she doesn't do well outside. So she'll
And she'll
naturally
get
bite her
nervous
nails a
and bite her
lot and
nails.
fucking die. With Drew, he wanted to kill him through the stamp and the letter because he knew obviously he sends the letters a lot. He basically instructed him to use the stamp, but he didn't. So neither of them died right away due to
If
Vera not wanting to.
if he had used the stamp right away, then Vera would have followed soon after because she couldn't just stay at home by herself, obviously.
Yeah.
right.
So she would.
Probably.
But
Well, he probably expected her to die sooner than that, but
yeah,
Drew was
like-
just kind of
his
like tying
plan
it up.
comes. It's very, in my opinion, convoluted. Like I get like what he's going for, but like there's so many factors that have to work in order for it.
I mean,
to,
I don't think that the
I don't
plan
think his
is that
plan was bad.
convoluted.
Not
It was
really.
like
It's not a bad plan.
the,
I think
The plan
follow-up
is-
was bad.
there's the
It's a
stamp with
follow-up.
poison
Follow-up
and the
works.
nail polish with poison, and then once it starts, they'll both die like within like a day of each other, presumably.
I'd say
because the follow
the nail polish one is. I think the nail polish one is pretty smart. It's the stamp one that's like, what if he just?
Oh, I agree. The stamp one's way worse because the
Yeah.
stamp, especially later on, like with the present day
I-
events, right? It's
The nail polish one technically should have guaranteed she dies, and it does technically work. Just way later.
Yeah,
Well, then-
he's to be fair, it was because like he said he made the condition for like her putting it on like kind of
Yeah.
stupid, but maybe that's like him saying like
Well, I mean that.
if you ever have to if you're ever telling someone about it, you're going to be nervous, so you're going to put on the nail polish. I mean, I don't know. It's
But
I think
also,
the entire
like-
point is that it was supposed to be a good luck charm. So if she ever went outside, she should
Yeah.
put it on.
There,
Yeah,
it's,
obviously.
it's confusing though because like he just it doesn't work immediately, and then he just lets them continue going for 7 years. Which like
exactly.
on the one hand,
Yeah.
he knows that they're never gonna leave their fucking house. He knows that they're never gonna go talk to people. So he knows that if ever there comes a time when there's going to be when they're in a position to tell people, they'll get killed because they'll use the fucking nail polish or the stamp or whatever the hell. But also, like, why? There's not really a reason for him to not follow up right away.
Yeah.
He's just like, yeah, whatever. I'll leave it there, and then eventually they'll die.
Although to be fair, he doesn't know like Vera kept the nail polish. He doesn't know that
That's
they'll
true.
ever use the stamp,
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so
especially
many, like,
after 3 days.
I mean,
pass.
you could argue that he lets them live entirely because he doesn't see them as much. Like, it'd be better if they were dead, but it's not the end of the road if they're still alive because they just
I-
they
It's a
never
murder.
That doesn't really
He's
I don't know.
probably
Like,
if you
you're-
murder someone, you have to be pretty fucking strong about it.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking about premeditated murder. It's not a matter of if they die, they die. No, it's like I want them dead.
No, I mean, like, the
I
fact-
need them dead.
No, I mean the fact that even it doesn't work, and instead of going after them to try to finish the job, he's just like, I'll leave.
No,
it
I know
for now.
what you mean. I know what you mean.
I just
I'm
that
not
just
don't
seems
agree.
I don't know.
that just seems inconsistent a little bit. If that's actually his mindset,
Like, it isn't consistent.
Because then they present him as like a super a super paranoid guy who like watched over everyone involved in the case for 7 years. Which,
yeah, literally.
by the way, doesn't really make sense. Like, I felt eyes on me for 7 years.
It's mostly
I don't know. I
Marshall
would
that was saying
say-
that.
Like he kept watch over the Mishams that whole time.
I was broken
How?
at that.
How did
He
he
just
keep eye
did.
over Brushel?
He,
I thought it was
Well, I
Russell.
think-
who
Well,
got
I
that.
think with Brushel, he tried. to
He
keep
watched
track
all of
letters.
them.
I think it was mostly the letters. I thought, unless the yellow letter in the present was the was the only one he sent after the initial red one.
Well, what they said, like Drew, Brushel, Zach, or not Zach, but
Gallant?
everyone involved with everyone involved with the case 7 years ago, they've felt like they were being watched this entire time. Like,
I feel like it's somewhat in character for Kristoff to keep an eye on them just to be safe.
but then why wouldn't he just kill the people who he tried to kill if he was trying to be that safe?
he doesn't need to kill them yet, I guess. I'm not saying it makes a lot of sense because it doesn't. Weirdly written, but I don't know.
Like I think the
Fucking weird.
original plan, I think, was he wanted to kill them after he got the forged thing, so that nobody could prove that it was forged.
Well,
Yeah.
And then that didn't work. But then by that point, it was already like Zach had switched him for Phoenix. He was like, all right, I'm gonna screw Phoenix up now. So it was like, it's a good thing that they're still alive.
I mean, the exact
And
point
then-
was that he wanted to screw Phoenix over, wasn't it? I'll take his entire motive.
Well, that was
Yeah.
after he got like passed over.
Well,
Yeah.
He was
it's
gonna
weird.
kill. He was gonna kill the Mishams regardless.
True.
Yes and no. Like,
Wait, what do you mean by no?
well, no.
The entire
well,
reason-
because because
The original correspondence was, "Here's the stamp. I paid you the money,
We don't know.
You send me the
exactly
message with the
when it was
stamp.
made.
and then you die
So,
with
okay,
the
so-
stamp."
I
So-
agree. It's probable that he was going to kill them anyway, but I'm not. But I don't think they ever like
So,
say.
like,
for
hear me
sure.
out on this though. I always took it that he started his killing spree because of the fucking pettiness he had with like Grimmaire and whatnot. But because like okay,
But he had already
poisoned the
gotten
stamp
the
that he gave
forged
Vera, right?
evidence. Yeah,
be
he
fair-
had the
But-
forged evidence
Well,
already.
it was the nail polish
Okay,
for Sun
okay.
stamp, wasn't it?
Listen,
The stamp was part of the original payment.
No.
The note, the red note, it says, "Here's your $100,000. Use the enclosed stamp to say something else to me." And it was the stamp, the one with the
Okay.
poison.
listen, Joseph. So he said that it was the day before the trial that the attorneys got switched, right? And Vera said that she received the nail polish, the good luck charm, with the client at a meeting when they discussed it, which is like obviously
Before
probably
that.
much more in the past. So we can assume from that 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 he already gave the poison to, at the very least, Vera. We don't know about the stamp
True.
yet.
No, right.
Um,
No, I get what you mean. Yeah, I have that in my note. Yeah, I was gonna get into that a little bit. But you can go on. I'll get into it after you finish.
But yeah, so definitely he gave the poison to Vera before Zach ditched him as his thing. But honestly, that just doesn't make sense because kind of like he's gonna kill anyone who forges evidence for
That's
him.
okay. That's what I was
Like-
gonna get into. There's no way this is the first time he forged evidence.
I know,
Right.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
why is he suddenly want to kill the forgers now?
I don't know.
Weird.
Man.
That's
Maybe
my
he
point.
just
Like
doesn't-
I took it as his main spiel for why he goes crazy now is because of the fucking pettiness with Zach and whatnot. How he wants to screw
Right.
people over and cover up from people him screwing people
That's
over
normally
by
what you would
killing
think,
them.
right?
But
Yeah.
he set up for it before he even had the motive.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
why did he want to kill? Like that doesn't make sense. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
I presume he wanted to cover his tracks. I don't know
Maybe he knew he was gonna get forged evidence from them.
if and when he'd forged
Not
evidence
know.
prior that's
Kinda
not
shitty.
brought up. So
Like it's like but
It might have been like the first time he got like such because like I heard like it was like supposed to be like a big trial and like
it was a
whoever
big
like
trial,
whoever
right?
defended
The-
no, it was the Zach Gramery trial. It would be like whoever
was
defended
not-
that guy.
Yeah.
because he was a celebrity.
Be like-
and,
Yeah, he was like a celebrity. That it would like they would be like big. So maybe it's the first time like he like ordered some or like ordered a forged evidence or something.
or maybe,
Maybe
it's the
used
first
like
time.
illegal evidence before.
That
Yeah,
sounds
I
right
don't-
to me.
I don't. To me, it
Like
just doesn't make
it's
sense why.
the big huge case.
They don't
Forged evidence
explain
that I win for sure.
We can only we can. They don't explain it well, so we can only like conjecture basically.
I mean,
yeah,
again,
it's,
there's a lot of shit that just isn't properly explained. It's just kind of
Yeah.
poorly written in this case.
I believe at this juncture we can move on to the final trial, which granted we've already talked a lot about, but there is stuff about the trial
Yeah.
in particular I want to talk about.
Sure.
Yeah, no, the final trial sucks, in my opinion. Like, you do nothing.
yeah.
It's all right. I mean,
Apollo, if I'm not mistaken, literally presents like 3 pieces of evidence and then does the one perceived section, and that's it. And
yeah,
the
it's
rest
a lot of
it is
reading.
Christoph and Clavier talking.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it
And
kind
you
of
still
makes
have
sense
problems with
as
that.
Clavier's.
I thought it was cool how
Yeah.
Clavier was standing up to him.
Yeah, I like that part where Clavier's
I
like,
like Clavier versus Christoph.
You know?
that was nice. I like that
And
a lot.
Yeah.
I realized
Clavier-
this is like the first like good like prosecutor we've ever had, right? Like the one like from the start has like been kind of like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna fight these
Yeah.
defendants, but if I feel like they're innocent, you know what? I'm gonna be on their side.
Yeah, like past Clavier is a little shit, but like present Clavier is cool.
Yeah, it's like Edgeworth, but like Edgeworth had to like do a whole fucking game before he got like that.
Yeah,
To be fair,
Yeah.
Christoph did have 7 years off screen to become a better prosecutor.
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, but
Edgeworth
he just
had-
matured.
Sorry,
that-
Clavier, whatever. Gavin.
I really like Clavier. I think he's a good prosecutor.
He is.
Yeah,
Clavier's
I
pretty
like
cool.
the-
I just wish they did more with him in the story because there is so much more they could have done with the Christoph Clavier dynamic, in my opinion.
I think
True.
I don't like his rock star persona, especially in Case 3. I think
yeah.
that's a bit
I agree
weird.
with you. Where it's like he's so focused on like the well, I already talked about is how he's so focused on that and not like the case or like the murders or anything.
Yeah,
That's
I
why I
guess.
like
I mean, I don't know. I just thought it was annoying.
There is actually
Yeah.
one thing I forgot about the Masons that I want to talk about, and that's Phoenix's characterization.
No, which is none.
Well, what I'm more meaning to say is practically he acts like his original trilogy self again.
Yeah. Oh, there was one part in it that I really enjoyed.
What? Does that make sense since we're going
Yeah.
back in time?
That's before
hear
the
me out.
trial.
Well, hear me out. Wait, before the trial. What do you mean before trial?
Like that's him. The Mason system is his investigation before the original trial.
No, it's not. Before
No.
the flashback?
No, it's
No, it's
after.
after.
It's after. It's after he lost his badge.
Well, I mean, either way it wouldn't make sense because in the original trial he acts like a cocky little shit. But after the trial,
That
it
was
makes
just
sense that he would
really-
mellow out. But in the future, though, it's Hobo Phoenix, who's acting like original trilogy Phoenix.
Yeah, I thought it was really one thing in the future Phoenix that I thought was pretty funny was like you inspect a bottle in the Borscht Bowl Club, and then Phoenix is like, and then Zach like plays like a magic trick saying like, "Ooh, what's in that bottle? Oh, it's your business card." And then Phoenix is like, "Wow," and then Zach's like, "Oh, you don't seem surprised by that," and he's like, Phoenix was like, I sure felt surprised. Maybe my poker face is on." I'm like, I thought that was really cool how like they characterized that, like how he's like just naturally a lot more like bluff and like basically like no matter what you see on his face, like because we see him like from Apollo's eyes a lot of the time. So like really on the inside, he might just be like still like trilogy Nick kind of like freaking out sometimes, but like on the outside, he's just like, ha ha ha.
Yeah, I did think that was interesting. Yeah,
Would you-
I remember commenting on that when we were playing it.
I'll be honest.
So
I
what you're
completely
saying is
forgot
that
about
Hobo Phoenix is actually just the same as original trilogy Phoenix, but with a facade over.
But why?
Not really.
Well, hey, Ruben, if that were true, then that brings like
I'm just saying, like,
one
kind of-
complaint even more in a different light.
I'm just saying more so like he's still like the same person, like like
Just
on the
trying to get
inside.
I was just trying to get a rise out of Joseph.
I do. Yeah, but Tom, if that's the case, son, his fucking. Why is he so different in other ways, man? Fucking.
I can get into it a little bit if you want.
Go ahead.
Let me think. You guys talk about something else.
Oh, okay.
Bro.
Well, bro.
I can get into it. Just hold on
Okay,
so I can
guess I'll just
think
sum it
about
up.
it.
Okay, so Tom, if he is mostly the same person, just hiding it under the facade.
I
he
didn't
has
say
now,
mostly.
What did you
I
say?
just said at the core, he's still Nick, but
And yet he forges evidence, Oh, actually, no.
Yeah, good for him.
Actually, no. That is something.
good for him.
What do you mean, good for him? No, not good for him.
Fuck the legal system.
Justice.
Not
It's truth.
Okay,
It's
actually,
the truth,
No, you know what?
Joseph.
what?
I mean,
What's the truth?
doesn't
No, it's
we
not.
we already talked about this. Let's not get into this.
No, Ian. There's a reason I want to bring it up again because the flashback trial doesn't give any reason as to why Phoenix would want to go to this now. Because it's
Exactly.
his own fault. It's his own fault. He got tricked by a single person. It has nothing to do with the dark age of the law or the legal system being corrupt. No, he forged evidence because he chose to, and there's no reason for him to have chosen to.
No, the
He
reason he
chose to forge evidence
was
because Christoph
he-
Gavin was the one who did it.
There's nothing
he
that would have
couldn't
pushed him to that
get him
point, though.
arrested otherwise.
The fact that Gavin got away scot-free, that's what it is that
He didn't
pushes
get away
him.
scot-free. What do you mean?
He
Yeah, he
did.
did.
He
Wait,
did.
are you talking about from the flashback or from case 1?
From the
Flashback.
origin, from
Oh,
the flashback.
oh,
he
from-
got
okay.
away for 7
Oh,
years.
yeah, from the
That's why he
flashback.
forged evidence. Gavin got away scot-free, and he knew that Gavin was the
And
one
he
found
responsible
out-
for
he
because
found
it was
everything.
evidence that was supposed to be that was destroyed by Gavin.
Yeah, he knew that
Yeah.
Gavin destroyed the evidence, and he had to remake it.
Just remaking evidence that should have been there. Obviously,
It still doesn't justify
How does it
the morals.
justify his decision to do that, though? How does? Oh yeah, he had to do it.
He never
How-
justified it.
In character, how does that?
It's easy to justify because
not.
Gavin destroyed the evidence that rightfully should have been
A
there.
regular
I
person
really
makes
do
full
think you
justice.
guys
Phoenix
are-
never actually justified it. He said it was a bad thing to do, but he had to do
It was the right thing to do.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
If he didn't do it, Gavin would have gotten away with it
It's-
again.
I mean,
Forging
I'm gonna be
evidence
honest.
is not right.
Listen, let's
Let's
sum it up a little bit. So the story sets up that his attorney's badge was taken for being framed for forging evidence, right? And he forges evidence again. He still does that for
Well, no, he
the
doesn't.
right
He never
thing.
forged it the first
And
time.
he never forged it
I'm
before.
talking about the second
Yeah,
time.
but Khan's
My
gonna
second
get
point
into
is
that,
the second time. But it was established before that Phoenix would never manipulate evidence to get the outcome he wants. In 1-4, with the dichotomy between him and Manfred, which I brought up in the previous discussion, Eden rise from the ashes.
This
with
is
the whole
seven. This is over
situation.
7 years later.
I don't know what you're. The thing about is, this is the first time he's ever forged evidence is to indict Gavin for the crime that he knows Gavin committed and that he knows Gavin
That's what
covered up.
makes it so
No, I know,
jarring.
but
though.
we don't see any of that change within the 7 years. We just see
True.
him being framed
True.
and then him now forging
But
evidence.
that's an
True.
issue of
And that's why
the
we
writing
need
in the game.
Apollo
Not Phoenix
Justice
themselves.
number 2.
I yes, we need a prequel to Apollo Justice.
Sure,
Yes.
yeah, make a prequel to Apollo Justice, but that
Where
doesn't
it's
excuse
just
Apollo
Phoenix
Justice.
right in between the 7 years.
It's just Hobo Phoenix.
No Apollo Justice, but
Yeah,
No, I'm
it's
not-
He
Apollo
doesn't
Justice.
have any
That's
court
why,
ethic.
within Apollo Justice, it's not very well written. With Apollo's reactions, the game creates this aura of mystery as to why Phoenix would do this, but it never goes any further from that. You know, like with the
I disagree.
Hard disagree. Like they explicitly show why he does that.
And
They
in
show
the first
the
case,
entire
Nobody does.
Yes, set of
they
events.
in the
show
first case, you
logically-
don't understand what happened with Kristoff and what happened with Phoenix, and you don't understand why he would forge evidence. You didn't know what the relationship was between these two, except like they were quote unquote friends. So
And then we discover, oh, Kristoff's literally the devil, and
Yeah.
he's done it before. He got away with murder more than once,
Okay.
and Phoenix
showed
had
that.
to do it.
Show that.
They did show that he got away with murder.
No, show that through Phoenix that he, like, with lines, with actions, that he justifies it to himself that he has to do this. And he, for, like, tying it to the themes, that it proves that there is something wrong with the
Okay.
judicial system.
Why does
Right.
Phoenix have to justify himself when we see it happen?
Because
we know
it's
what
such a
happened.
big
And to be fair,
character
we don't
focus.
play
Because
as
it's a
Phoenix
story
much.
requirement.
And we're not Phoenix either. Exactly what Tom said. We're playing as Apollo. We're not playing as Phoenix.
Until we start playing as Phoenix.
Okay,
this
until we
doesn't
start,
affect-
yeah.
this
Hey,
does not
hey,
affect
everyone,
Apollo in any
everyone,
way either.
everyone. How about whatever the fuck we were talking about before this? We go back to that. We just agree that we're not going to agree on this. We agree to disagree. I don't think we're
I
gonna.
know,
we're
but
not
we're
gonna resolve.
discussing
I
it.
disagree with you,
I
Ian.
think
You
discussing
suck.
it.
I can't agree with me.
Fuck you, Ian.
I thank you, Ruben. I agree. I don't. Okay. I feel like we're talking in circles here. I don't. It feels like
we
not
haven't
getting
gotten
anywhere.
into detail about this as much.
No, we talked about this a lot when we were
We
discussing
did,
case
but we
one.
still also held off because there was some context we want to talk about with regards to case 4.
Yeah.
I
Didn't we
guess.
say we would come back to it?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I guess we
exactly.
did.
We're back. We're
back, baby.
running
Nice.
back.
1 month later.
Unfortunately,
We're
yes,
back.
we're back. Did it-
Run it back.
fucking thing.
Like
I think-
think about it. Before the flashback trial, up to that point, this mystery and intrigue is created, and then the flashback happens. And as I said, I thought it was interesting to see Phoenix framed for something that previously he would never do. So I wanted to see within the context of the story's themes about corruption in the court, how and why Phoenix changed. I wanted, from a story structure perspective, this is done through character for the story to have a thematic point through the characters. But besides a line where Phoenix is like, I think he was like talking about how he fell for an obvious trap or whatever. One line in the Mason system, there's no character work regarding Phoenix within that section. And then we're on the final trial again, and you just present 3 pieces of evidence as Apollo, and there's no character reflection regarding Phoenix with Apollo either. So why should I care?
I think you guys put
I-
way too
like-
much of an
like-
emphasis on the forging. Like,
Yeah,
I
like
think
the-
you could have
I-
made it
I-
much bigger.
You didn't even bring it back to the forging. I don't know what you're talking about now. Like, the forging
I mean-
happened in the first
Yeah, I kinda
case,
got lost
not in the
in
last
it.
case.
I'll bring it back to the forging.
Yeah.
Like,
Please
you
don't.
said all this about how Phoenix, we don't see him like changing or developing. For one thing, we don't play as Phoenix for the majority of the game.
You
But
guys
the
are
other
the
thing,
ones
the
who
parts
don't
where
want
we
us
do,
Phoenix.
the
yeah.
part
You don't
where
have
we
to
do
have Phoenix for the majority of the game.
parts that we do play as Phoenix are about him investigating what happened with like the truth of like the circumstances behind what Gavin did.
But there's no
I mean, I'm
reaction.
sure there's
no
like a spin-
reflection.
Yeah, there should be
Reaction and
spin-off.
reflection to
Phoenix
to
I
Wright
what?
agree with
goes
that.
to a therapist where he
Wait,
just
wait,
talks about his mental
Okay.
issues.
We obviously
Okay.
we do need to see. We do need to know what happens in those 7 years to make him want to do this. I'll agree there.
Structurally speaking,
We don't
when
see it,
something
but
Yeah, because
when something in the story happens, the character must react, and the characters don't react at all in the story, especially in the last section. Like Apollo never reflects about what, like, after the events of the final trial, the final case. He never mentions anything about how what Phoenix has become,
we'll
how
get
his
more.
views on him.
We'll
No, I
get more
guess-
into Apollo
I
after.
kind of agree that. I'll agree
Apollo
with
is
that.
really irrelevant to this case and the entire game.
Completely irrelevant. So the argument that we're not playing as Phoenix to justify why he would do this is like, okay, we're playing as Apollo then. Then how does Apollo's views change? So how is he related to the themes of the story? Not at all.
his name is on the game.
So what?
Oh,
The
yeah.
game's not about him at all.
Check the
It's
thumbnail.
irrelevant.
Check the thumbnail.
Check the thumbnail. It's got a picture of Apollo on it.
No, now I'm gonna change
Yeah.
the thumbnail. Fuck you.
Go right ahead.
Clickbait.
The viewers-
clickbait,
The viewers know the
clickbait.
truth, Joseph. The viewers know the truth. You can't
I
hide
did
it.
listen this far. Add another comment
To me,
about what the
About-
thumbnail currently is
Yeah.
and what it
Add
should
a
be.
comment about how Joseph is wrong.
I'll just say it, kind of restate slash just formulate it. Sorry, structure it one last time, and I'll end it there. You see Phoenix at the beginning forges evidence. You wonder why. You see the flashback case. he acts. Well, in my opinion, he acts weird, but he acts a way that's is a certain way. Then the shit goes to fan. Then you hit the Mason system where he basically acts like OG Phoenix, which, like Khan said, does not show his progression at all, which doesn't clue you in to think that he would do something so drastic compared to what original Phoenix would have done. And then there's nothing after that. So the game, not only does the flashback trial itself not have a compelling enough reason for him to forge evidence, because what happened was Phoenix's fault in the workings of one man, which, granted, that one man is who he's trying to get back at, but still doesn't justify him foregoing what he believed in to that point and the Plato system itself. And we don't see his change in the Mason system when you get the Plato system.
My rebuttal to that is simply that, one, the forged evidence is not that huge of a difference, in my opinion. I don't think it's that different from Phoenix in the original trilogy, specifically because he's not faking an outcome. He's
replicating
getting the truth.
He didn't make a different card.
Okay,
He's
no.
replacing evidence that was
Forging
destroyed.
evidence is
It was
forging
what had to
evidence.
be there.
Forging evidence is forging evidence. It doesn't matter. Okay, it's some part of it,
No.
man, but at the end of the day, no. Yes,
So
no,
what
yes.
is
at the end of the day-
self-defense is equivalent to murder then?
Wait,
Think
wait,
about
wait,
it
wait,
from
wait,
like
wait,
the
wait, wait,
Superman
wait,
example.
You say forging evidence is forging evidence. So then what? Self-defense is equivalent to murder? They're the same action, but the purpose is different.
You're
It's still
jumping into
wrong.
conclusion.
It's still wrong.
Self-defense is wrong?
Defense,
about it.
I don't know
That's
about
not
that
the
one.
same thing at all. That's a bad
It's
comparison.
very much the same thing.
No, it's not.
Actually, it's like
self-defense.
literally self-defense, though.
No, it's not.
Can I just say,
By the way,
No, it's not.
otherwise he would go to jail.
you have
Yeah.
to think about it from the context of the character. Like, it's
You
not
also
what
have to
I
think
would
about it like this.
It's not what I would do,
Gavin
what I think is right. It's what Phoenix would do and what Phoenix thinks is
Kristoff
right.
Gavin is a dangerous man who is gotten away scot-free and can do whatever he wants.
The
Just
big
because
issue is
you
that we
guys-
have 7 years of story we know nothing
But
about.
why is that enough justification for Phoenix? The story should establish that, and it doesn't.
Okay.
It is enough the establishes that Phoenix serves the truth.
I feel like you guys.
He got
I feel
the
like you guys
truth.
are conflating
But
your
how
morals and
is him
ideals.
forging evidence fucking
Okay.
what's the
He's
word?
serving the truth.
I feel like you guys
Alright,
are
let
conflating
me
your morals and ideals with
talk.
Phoenix's.
Not
let me
I
really.
think you're conflating your morals with Phoenix's.
Phoenix clearly has morals about forging evidence that you guys are ignoring.
Okay.
He has morals about forging evidence for getting whatever you want out of a trial. Phoenix isn't getting whatever he wants. He's doing it to reveal the truth.
He's against
It's
it in
not-
all forms. Doesn't matter.
He's not faking
Joseph.
it. He's not creating an alternate solution. He's presenting the truth. It is the definitive truth.
But
There
how
is no
that the
alternate truth.
when he
It is
presents
the
fake
truth.
evidence? How did
What do
he
you mean?
know
How is that the truth? He was there.
But there's literally missing evidence.
Yes, Gavin took it and destroyed it. He knew that.
Tom, what were you gonna say? Or Ian,
yeah,
whichever
Tom.
one of you.
I
I was gonna say
don't-
what
why do you? Okay, why do you think this for? Okay, by the way, about the reflection, are you like assuming like or not assuming, but like were you wanting Phoenix to have like a at the end of the game to be something like, you know what? I learned forging evidence is wrong, and I'm not going to do it again.
What I
No,
wanted.
that's not what I'm
First of all,
saying,
no,
no.
are you talking about for Con or for me?
Con.
Okay.
No, it's not. Oh, I learned the mistakes of my no.
The
I'm
error
talking
of my
about-
ways.
I learned that forging evidence. Okay, let's go.
Basically, to establish within that 7 years how he changed and why he changed.
I mean, I would agree with that. We do kind of need a big part of the problem with the game is that we have no clue what happens for those 7 years.
Like there needs to be there
We
needs
don't
to
know
be
how
an
his character
explanation
changes really.
for why Phoenix being framed for forging evidence. First of all, incites thoughts that the judicial system itself is corrupt, and if that didn't do it, then what did? What is Phoenix's justification for forging evidence, which is the restatement of what we've been arguing about so far? And or is it that the judicial system is corrupt? Is that the justification? And how is that How is that a proper justification when it goes against every principle Phoenix held before these 7 years?
I think you put way too much of an emphasis on the forging.
I don't think
I
It's
agree.
very important.
It's not such a huge deviation, though.
Joseph said it's an assassination of Phoenix's character.
Yeah, that's
That's way too much of an exaggeration.
That's
I
exaggerating.
stand by that.
Okay,
we know you do, but you're wrong.
Let me say this.
You had a
Um,
month to think about why you were wrong.
I'll say true. I'll say this. I would certainly like to see his development from OG Trilogy Phoenix to this Phoenix.
I agree.
But I don't need to see that to understand what he's doing and what his motivations are. I
we don't
completely
have to.
understand what he's doing, and if you want to, I've said it several times already, but it's very simple to put. Phoenix has always served the truth. He is serving the truth with this forged evidence.
Yeah.
It's not legal. It's obviously, but if he didn't do it, the truth would be dead and buried.
Yeah.
Okay,
Phoenix
then
is
that's
all about
even
truth.
established better in the story, but it was barely.
What do you mean?
I
It was
think,
very explicit.
I'm
If
talking
Phoenix
about
I
didn't
think,
I think
agree.
Ruben's
Phoenix
explanation
didn't
was kind of
do
exactly
the
what
forged
my
evidence,
thoughts are.
if he didn't
Yeah.
forge the evidence, Christoph Gavin would be a free man.
Leave a timestamp there, Joseph.
Okay, then establish that in the story the way you explained
and
it.
editing.
What do you mean? Is that's exactly what happens in the story?
Alright, I agree with Ian at this point. We're done.
Okay, do
Now-
I
You
want to
agree
point
with
out?
Ian, and Ian agrees with Ruben.
Yeah.
Boom, we
No,
did it.
I
do
don't
wanna
really
point out one
care if you
thing
guys have majority because I still think you're wrong. It doesn't change anything.
No, okay, shut
I
up.
think we gave our point, everything that we had to say about this.
If you're watching this video, leave it in the comments what side you take. Tell Con and Joseph why they're wrong down in the comments below.
At me on Twitter.
Like and subscribe.
Okay, I did want to say that I think I think that we could have more. We could be. There's more that could be said, that could be given, that could be shown as to why Phoenix makes this choice. But with what we do have, I think it's justifiable, in my opinion, because that's what it is. It's an opinion. Everyone here, it's an opinion. Okay, I think we.
No, my opinions are correct.
Alright, I think it's
Fair
safe.
enough,
It's
fair
pretty
enough.
fucking obvious, obviously. Icon and I think we're right and we think you're wrong and vice versa. Like, that's fucking obvious. So.
No, I know you're wrong.
True. I agree with Tom, honestly. I think Tom is the MVP here. Tom knows. Tom gets it.
You kind of summarized my points pretty well.
I mean, yeah. Well, Ruben and Tom said. I think we all again. The three of us more or less agree with everything we've said.
Mhm.
Con and Joseph agree with what they've said, and we're not going to come to a conclusion, which is kind of why I wanted this to just end fucking
Yeah, 'cause
20 minutes
some
ago.
people are
Because I knew we were just going
stinky
to
and
talk.
bad.
No,
Yeah,
I
sure.
think I think we that extra 20 minutes just helped clarify each of our points. So
Not really.
For me,
well,
it did.
to
You
be
did the same
frank,
thing over
okay,
and
I
over
mean,
again.
if you want me
My
to be
point has
honest,
been clarified.
I think on our end, I think we added at least a little bit more. At least mostly.
Not
Con.
really.
I think on our end we had
mostly
it.
Con. For you guys, honestly, I mostly think you restated, but that's also because you think you
No.
believe what you said holds true, regardless of what we said.
which is cool, which is absolutely fine.
The way you say that, you just not making
Tone
it
voice, Con.
fine.
What?
Tone of voice. Your tone of voice came out very like
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Whatever.
Whatever.
If you agree with the right one, if you agree with the site who's correct, leave a like on this video.
Shut the fuck up. God.
We're giving you
Alright.
free likes, Joseph. Everyone agrees with us.
Oh,
But anyway, the final trial was deeply
Bruh.
anticlimactic and rushed.
yes.
True.
We do not really
Okay, well we
I can
agree.
agree with
We
that.
all agree. Time over. Game
Well,
discussion
I
over.
guess
Let's go home.
if there's unless there's anything else to discuss, I wanted to ask. I guess
Is there?
opinions on the more anything in particular. Otherwise, opinions on the fourth case. Then after everything we said,
No, I
it's
think,
decent.
I think
It's not the best.
fucking
It's okay.
the stupid. I mean, we already kind of mentioned it, but the stupid like guilty innocent thing that was kind of
mean,
dumb.
I do like the breakdown of Kristoff over the second
Yes,
the
they
second
break
part of the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like
I agree with
where it finally
I like
reveals
his
why he
breakdown.
did what he did. I do like that, where we finally figure out why he did what he did. It's just it's literally just because he has a massive ego and he's kind of an
It's
asshole.
because he's a god and everyone is beneath
Which,
him.
I mean,
Exactly.
actually, I guess I'll go in this. I think I didn't really finish this. I think Kristoff's motive is particularly petty and also just really.
I know. I agree.
I agree with that. It doesn't mean it's bad though.
Well, I guess I compare it to
These
like
dual
saying,
destinies.
well, here's the thing. Wait, what? Dual Destinies?
Nothing.
Okay. Actually,
Let's not jump.
actually,
the
no,
gun.
Tom. I know.
Yeah.
I know a little bit what you're getting to, and I guess what I'll say that's not petty. That's just simple motives, basically covering their asses, right? It's I think for like who / what you're talking about, but I'm not gonna go into details. Like say compared to Von Kammer, right? His pettiness was directed at a particular thing, where it was like, oh, Gregory Edgeworth was the one who ruined my record. I have a chance to kill him. I'm gonna kill him now, and then it ends there. That makes sense. With Kristoff, his pettiness doesn't end at Phoenix or even it goes from Phoenix and then spreads to everyone else involved too.
I
And
feel
it's
like you could say that Kristoff is just like
Wait, what are
he
you
thinks
saying?
so highly
what I'm
of
saying
himself.
is it's what I'm saying is
Who does it
it's
spread to?
everyone
let's
else involved.
let
Zach,
Joseph finish.
Drew, Vera.
No,
Okay.
Drew and Vera were already involved before this.
Well, they were involved, but
Before he got
again, he didn't have. We already established he didn't really have a reason to kill them. If he did, then why
Yeah,
did
but
he
he
reason
did.
for everyone else? Like
But he tried to.
my
yeah.
point is his motive doesn't make sense because it can't be just pettiness. Because otherwise, why would he set that shit up? But if it was to cover,
I
his
mean,
ass,
the
then why would he
motive
do
is
that?
that he has his giant inflated ego, and anybody who could possibly pose a threat to it has to be out of there, get
I
rid
guess
of.
my
Like, his
point
ego
is,
is so fragile. He has to remove anyone who like threatens that.
in my
That
opinion,
sounds
thinks so highly of
oddly
himself
familiar,
that-
what you just
yeah,
said.
in my opinion, the writers didn't
Uh-huh.
fully realize
Okay.
his motive, and the evidence of that is the Black Cyclops.
Yeah, I think it's hard to like.
Fair.
I think it's hard to
I
like
don't
kind of
agree
think
with
about.
that, but I
because
can't
of the way
dispute
it's-
it because of how Black Cyclops work, and I don't want to spoil them.
Well, okay, actually, no, I'll add to that. Ruben, sorry, Tom, you go first, then I'll talk about what Ruben's gonna say.
Yeah, so I think it's hard to like think about this, but like since the way it's presented, but the murder of Vera, or no, the attempted murder of Vera and the murder of Drew Misham, these were not related to Phoenix at all, and it's presented like they are. But this was kind of the attempted murder, like the stamp, the nail polish. This was before the people even switched sides.
Which
The
it's a
murder of Zach
mistake that they were
Graham?
presented to be like this is attached to Phoenix because it's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. It's completely different.
Right.
And the murder of Zach is probably more so attached to, Phoenix, what happened in the trial. He knows the truth or something. He's got to die. But
Mhm.
yeah, I think that's it.
What
Yeah, I
that
think that's
came
just the
across,
one I was
how
thinking.
that comes across to me isn't that the writers, isn't that there's two separate events for Kristoff. Like there's two separate motives and two separate events for Kristoff to kill different people. It's the writers wanted everything to be connected. They forgot that the stuff involving Drew and Mara technically would have come before the shit with Phoenix.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's the big issue
he
with the
doesn't
game.
have two motives. The motive is the people who know the truth need to die.
Yeah.
The things with Phoenix was just I'm pissed at him because
He's
he
a
got
petty
chosen
asshole,
and I didn't
has-
get chosen.
His ego,
So
his
I'm just
ego
gonna-
is-
He didn't try to kill Phoenix, for example. He was just like, I'm fine with just getting him out of the fucking legal
yeah,
system.
ruining his
ruining his
In
life.
retrospect, especially because Kristoff had to have known.
Wait.
Wait, what?
Why did he kill Zach?
Because Zach knew.
Because Zach would knew that
About the forgery?
no, because
Yeah,
Zach,
he had the real page.
Oh, I
Okay,
guess
because
so.
obviously people knew that the forged evidence for that case, and it was either Phoenix or someone else. Who else other than a defense attorney? Zach
Yeah.
knew
Wait.
that Kristoff was the first defense attorney, therefore the forged evidence could be traced back to him.
Yeah, so in so many words, Zach knew the truth.
They mentioned that you could have looked up that Christoph was the first attorney.
Well,
Yeah.
that's just
That
a
it was
problem.
that was public knowledge.
But
Well, isn't that just a
Zach
problem?
knew that Phoenix didn't forge it.
Yeah, but there was like a lot of people who might have known that.
Well, the
Well,
point,
nobody knew that. They might have thought that, but there was no evidence. Zach could have proven it, and Zach had evidence to prove it
yeah,
because Zach had the
How
original
would
note.
okay, but Zach had the original note. But how would that have proven that Phoenix wasn't the one who ordered it?
because hold on, let me think of this. But they actually, technically the note wouldn't have proven that Phoenix didn't order it, but the note would have proven right off the bat that wasn't the evidence, and Phoenix didn't have to present it then if she showed it. But you're right.
Well, yeah,
technically-
that's a different. That's a
yeah,
different
no,
thing.
you're right. No, but technically, it wouldn't have proven that Phoenix didn't try to forge evidence.
So why did he kill Zach?
Because no, he killed Zach because like it was like I know you said like the public records. I think that's just the writers not thinking about that because the way they present it is Zach knew that Kristoff was his first attorney, so Kristoff had to get rid of him because otherwise shit could be traced back to him.
No, but that's not because they literally said that. Yeah, you could look it up. That everyone knew that he was the first attorney.
Well, to me, that's either it's clear in my opinion, it's clearly presented that's why Kristoff killed Zach. So it's not.
So that's poorly presented.
Yes, it is.
I mean,
Well,
that's a big problem with the game.
well,
Is
okay, it's either a matter of the writers accidentally adding, two reasons, another way for Kristoff to be found out, yet still having that as a motive, or him not having a reason to kill Zach, and me putting the dots together to that, even though that's not what they intended. Either way, it's not that well.
Let's jump on the wiki to see what they think.
Yeah, I'm looking that up right now.
But,
I'm
The
doing that
wiki,
same exact
the
thing.
wiki says that Christoph Gavin stalked the Meachams, Wright, and Brushel because he was worried that Zach would reappear to them, and then that with his help they would expose that Gavin forged evidence and was Zach's original attorney.
that would have been
So
a nice
it's what
thing to have
Joseph
told.
Wait, maybe he just killed him because he switched lawyers.
No,
Oh, so
according
he
to
paid
the wiki, it was that what Joseph said that Zach knows that Kristoff was the original attorney, and he didn't want people to know that.
Like, that's stupid.
This game's excellent writing.
I mean, again, a game has a lot of plot holes and just kind of mediocre writing, if not bad writing.
Okay, but like
Yeah.
the game literally contradicts itself then.
Yes,
I
I
say
know.
multiple times. Wow.
It does it a lot.
But this is like a big thing.
I
A lot
don't
of them are
remember
big
the
things.
game saying anything about Gavin public record, whatever.
Tom, this game has had a lot of big plot holes and a lot of contradicting itself. That's why the game is a big piece of shit.
Yeah.
Joseph, it's a 10
A
out
lot
of 10.
Bad story.
It feels in character for Gavin to kill Zach, so I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
If
No.
the story were good, I would be like, okay, I'm cool with that. But these kinds of stuff are symptoms of bad writing.
No, I
mean,
disagree. I think the
kind of
story
like-
makes sense. It's just not told well.
I kind of just passed up on Kristoff's motive for Zach because like they made it like a big thing and they'll be like, you'll find out. But like I don't think we ever did.
No, we didn't. Because,
I
okay,
mean,
involving the Black Cyclops, because I think this is relevant since we don't find out, right? Because that's never shown. The way the Black Cyclops works in the later games, either A, directly contradicts what we think Kristoff's motives are, because there's no reason for him to have Black Cyclops, or B, it's what his Black Cyclops are something that game writers even remotely told us about, and thus are irrelevant because it's nothing compared to what it's nothing similar to what they were trying to present to us.
no, I have an idea of what the Black Cyclops means, but I cannot say it because it will spoil the
Yeah, we'll
future
talk
game.
about it after
I mean,
question mark Dual
yeah,
Destinies.
like if you want, I mean, if you
Con,
want,
get out of here! Get
yeah,
out of
I
here,
was about to say,
Con!
if you
Screw
want,
it.
at the very
Yeah.
end, Ruben can just bring it up
Yeah.
after Con leaves, but otherwise, yeah.
Yeah,
Ruben,
but
you're
I'll
like,
do it at the end.
I mean, that just play Dual Destiny. It's kind of easy.
Exactly. Play the whole game right now.
Yeah.
We'll wait.
Ruben, I mean, at the very least, you can DM after this discussion. You could DM me.
I mean, I'm kind of curious
Just
to hear
play
his
Dual
reason.
Destinies. We'll have a part 3 discussion on.
Oh yeah. Play all of Dual Destinies, and we can have a
And then-
part 3 discussion.
for
And then we talk about the forged evidence.
Specifically for Clavier.
I'm pretty sure this
Kristoff's
video
motive.
will also be like part 2 and 3. I'm guessing.
No, it's gonna be part 2. Joseph's not gonna cut it into 2
How long?
videos.
4
You
hours.
wouldn't do that for
Snyder
the
Cut.
money.
4 hours? What? We started the discussion at like 10.
Yeah, it's been like 2 hours.
2.5.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but
Well, I was exaggerating, but you know what I mean.
Well, this-
Joseph
to
will
be
just
fair,
cut
when we
out the
argued
Don't
about
worry
the
about
forged
it.
evidence, it felt like a very long time.
Well,
no,
it
that was
was
not
worth
that
it.
long.
It
Because
wasn't
it was.
that. It wasn't that long. It was just a derivative.
But it felt like a long time. It felt like it took
Well,
You
yeah,
forever.
should have
you weren't
just
participating.
participated
You
then.
weren't participating.
Five head.
I was trying to, but you fucking kept talking
But we
over
were
me.
yelling over
Talk
you.
louder. Talk louder.
Fuck all
No,
of you.
please don't. At least for me,
To
I
be
don't,
fair, just sorry. Ruben and Tom were basically saying what I wanted to say anyway. So
I was sort of adamant to make my point, give my point across. So it's my fault, but
nah,
Yeah.
yeah, Kyle, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, I
Fuck
agree.
you.
I agree with
Yeah,
that.
what the hell?
I
I've agreed
agree.
with them all day.
God.
I thought you were broke off.
I'm not sorry.
At this juncture, I think.
Oh, you already said you were sorry. It's too late. Can't take it back.
At this juncture, I think I'm ready to.
No, I said I'm not sorry.
No take backsies.
No, I heard you say
What
you were
did
sorry.
Joseph say? What did Joseph say?
I
He
said,
said something about no, I'm right.
no, shut the fuck up. At this juncture, I think I'm about ready to, end it and just give our final opinions on the case in the game.
Yeah, we should give final
Mhm.
opinions.
I
Okay.
think that the case was decent. It's serviceable. It's not great. It's not. I probably wouldn't even go so far as to say it's a good case, but it's okay. As for the game is fun still. I like the game. They have a lot of good characters. The story, it makes sense to me at least.
Okay. For me, I thought the case was garbage, and I think it's as bad as Game of Thrones season 8. Yes, I said it.
Imagine
And-
watching Game of Thrones.
I agree.
Fair. And the game overall is mediocre, I think, at best. Well, not at best, but
That's pretty mean.
a low 5 out of 10,
Yay, average! Let's go.
That's below average.
I think the game
what
gets
is
an
it,
11 out of 10.
4.8, 4.9, something like that. Rotten Tomatoes, 49%.
Moist meter 50%.
I agree with Tom. Moist meter.
Alright,
The true scale. To
69%.
Ian or Tom?
Tom can go first.
Okay. So I thought the case it was pretty good. Actually, it was okay. I don't know. It definitely is probably like it has like the least oomph of like a lot of the final cases. In Ace Attorney, usually they have like
Sorry, just
Joseph.
yes.
it feels like it wasn't just like I don't think it would have been terrible if it was just a standalone case, but I kind of expected a little bit more from a final case, and I feel like they tried to make it like impactful, like with the flashback and with the Mason system, but all that really did was just make it a little bit longer. Really didn't really make it much more exciting or impactful. It was still the same, plot. It was still
Kind of like
the
our
same murder.
discussion.
True.
No, our discussion was fine. Nothing was wrong with it. It was great.
For the game itself, I thought it was good. I thought it was actually really good. I think the cases are good. 1, 2, 4, definitely better than 3. I'd say ranked in total, I'd say 1 is the best, 2 is the second best, third is the fourth. Wait.
Oh, wait, what?
Case 4 is
Wait,
in
from
third place.
best to worst.
Case 4 is
Case
in third
1,
place.
case 2, case 4, case 3.
Yeah,
I
I got what you meant.
think we can all kind of. I don't know.
For me, I think case 2 is my favorite, I think.
All right.
Case 2 is my favorite as well.
But basically, Apollo Justice, it's a really fun game. I like the characters a lot. It's you're fighting in court, you're doing all the battles. That's all there. It has a lot of plot holes. Some of the explanations are faulty. The murder plots and the murder setups are definitely not as well construed and constructed as they are in past and future games. But you can kind of turn off your brain to it. You can enjoy it. It's not a bad game. I like it.
I agree with
Ian,
Tom.
Ian, you want to follow that up?
Well, okay. For case 4, I liked the first half of the case. I just ignoring Russell. I did not like Russell. I kind of zoned out whenever he was on screen. I really liked the idea of the going back in time kind of plot, ignoring the weird paradox of bullshit. I thought it was a really cool idea. It was just kind of executed not the best. Could have been done better. but it is what it is, I guess. The second half of the case, I guess the third part, since I guess the case is like a three-parter. Because you got the first part, go back in time, Mason system, and you have after that with Kristoff. I don't know. I kind of liked the second part a bit. I think a bit more than everyone else here. I kind of liked finally nailing Kristoff, like getting him to like break down, and like not to mention like that what does him in is like just a bunch of average citizens like vote to make him guilty. It's not even like Phoenix or Apollo who are really putting the nail in his coffin. Just it's like citizens doing it, which I kind of liked how ironic that was. That was fun. Overall, I think it's a fun game. I enjoyed playing it. I enjoyed a lot of the investigation parts, especially. Is it a well-written game? No, not at all. A lot of plot holes, a lot of issues.
Yeah.
But I had fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the characters in it a lot.
And that's the point of a game.
Yeah.
Have fun.
I mean, I think it's kind of bad that I didn't enjoy a lot of the cases, but I enjoyed everything else besides that. Like, if you're playing like an Ace Attorney game and you dread getting to the cases but enjoy everything else, there's probably something wrong with that.
Like,
wrong with that game.
as in, like, you drag it into the trials, but the investigations are where it's at.
I say I dread the trials. That's kind of overreacting about it. I didn't like them very much. Some were definitely worse than others. I really liked the first trial, and everything after that was just kind of like, this is okay, I guess. I can sit through this, I guess. But I really did enjoy the investigations and like slowly piecing everything together. Like I'm pretty sure at the start of the game, there's like a joke made about how Apollo is like being hired on as a detective, and that it's kind of true. But that's kind of true of all these attorney games where you're doing more work than the detectives are half the time, because you're like gathering evidence and shit. But like overall, I liked the game. I had fun with it. It's not a good game, but I think that if you don't take it too seriously, you'll enjoy it and have fun with it.
Definitely play it with a friend.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
I mean-
it's time for me to shit on these opinions, isn't it? All right. Case, unless there's anything else you want to top off with, any of you, before I get into my spiel.
Yeah, one more thing. Don't ignore whatever is about to be said.
Okay. Anyway, Case 4 is awful. It's such a fucking mess. It starts off decent, not strong, decent. Then the flashback case happens, and I'm just so many things I'm questioning with like characterization and whatnot. And then how shit goes down infuriates me because it should have been so fucking easy to catch. And then the Mason system happens, which makes no fucking sense, with a bunch of shitty characters other than Valance that I don't like. And then the trial happens where it's a fucking nothing burger with fucking Kristoff just like getting presented a few things, talking, and then just the least satisfying final trial. At least satisfying trial period, just at all. It's so fucking lackluster. And then for the game, especially the final case, I guess no, I'll lead up to this. First case, I thought was interesting. Not the best executed in my opinion with some of the game pacing stuff, but that's not that big of a deal. Mostly just obviously
That's a problem throughout the entire game.
yeah, you're right. So first case was interesting, but I don't like obviously the one big aspect of it, the forgery. But we're not gonna get into that again. Second case,
I think we should talk about that again.
oh well, okay. Second case very mid. Not really. I don't really have problems with it, but I don't care for much any of it. Third case, worst fucking thing ever. Piece of shit. And fourth case, probably the biggest disappointment, honestly, of any final case or just case in general. It could have been so much more. The entire game has, in my opinion, the weakest cast of characters because there's barely any characters I really care about, in my opinion, especially with cases like 3 and 4. The game, I think, when it's not frustrating and badly written, it's boring, in my opinion, like with honestly Case 2 and beginning of Case 4. And Apollo is fucking irrelevant. It's supposed to be his game, and he has no place in it.
Yep. I agree.
I mean, okay, as badly written as as badly written as Case 3 is, I feel like the idea behind it was really cool. It had like a lot of cool concepts going into it, a lot of cool ideas, especially
I mean, I just
collecting
don't
the
like
evidence.
music
Just-
part.
yeah, no, I guess what I'm getting at is, Ian, that goes for the entire game, though. Like, the
Yeah,
shit
true.
with Kristoff is interesting
Well, okay,
idea.
I think
Mason
Case 3 is the
system,
worst of it,
interesting
though.
idea. I'd argue Case 4, honestly, is the worst about it. Honestly, when it comes to
I think the
interesting ideas,
Mason
games,
Mason one is the most wasted part of it, in my opinion.
like Case,
Everything
like,
else is
nah, actually not like Case 2. Case 1 to an extent. It's mostly Case 3 and 4, where it's like,
Yeah.
this could have been good. Shame it fucking isn't, though. And even if it's an interesting idea for me, it doesn't matter if it doesn't compel me in the end because it's done badly.
I mean, Case 2 also just feels like the most normal case of it. It just feels like a regular case that could be in any other Phoenix Wright game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it is. Like,
I love
practically
Case 2. Case 2 is perfect. Case 1 was pretty good. Case 4, I think, is okay. Case 3, not very good.
I have a soft spot for Case 3 just because of everything that kind of goes into it and makes up.
Honestly, I feel like all our opinions on the game are just like plus 30 or minus 30 in terms of like how much we like it. Like, if whatever case you guys are kind of mid on, I fucking hate, and Khan doesn't like it all either. Any case that you guys like, I'm just mid on.
I mean, I think that just means that you and Khan are wrong, but like, that's just me.
I guess we could call this a hung jury.
A Hangzhou.
Ooh. Hey, cut that out.
Ian,
Cut that out of the video.
Ian, come on, you know that's not how they dealt with them.
Ah, you're right. My bad. You're right. I'm sorry.
Censor it. Censor
That
it.
would have been. I mean, technically, they did do that with some of them. But you're right. The predominant way was cooking them. You are
What?
right there.
I said hung jury, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Hangzhou. My bad.
what is that?
Oh my gosh.
Dude, what? No.
What the fuck?
Okay, I was hoping we could
That-
keep it somewhat
that-
subtle and obscure, but no.
Was that too dark? Is that too fucked up?
We're gonna end the video with this.
Woo!
This is a good ending.
Wait, Hangzhou.
No,
oh,
cut
come
this
on.
out.
You got
Cut
the
this
good
part out, and we'll do
If
a
you've
better
reached
ending.
this, you got the good ending.
I can just I can easily edit out what Ian said and all of us just reacting to it.
Was it too far? Too much? I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I mean no. Okay, the first time I didn't mind it at all. It's the second time when you restated it, I'm like, God damn it. You could have just left it as
Oh,
it is.
Look, man, Apollo
you're-
Justice
you're-
is a good
I-
game because it has pretty women in it.
True.
And you.
Hmm.
Hung Jews.
Which
Yeah.
women are
Stop
pretty.
saying it, though.
Khan, thank you. I appreciate
Like,
that.
do you want me to meet
The
both of you? Like, I don't-
views of my co-hosts are not indicative of my own views.
No, I think everyone agrees with what we've all said here tonight. We all agree with each other. To be fair, I'm not agreeing with that. I'm just stating it happened. If you want to point that out, I'm not condoning
I
this.
was gonna say.
I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, that's
that
why at the end of the day, I may not even edit it out, just because like it's not like
I mean, you could probably if you could just edit out the second time I say it. It's probably fine.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that's like the only time I consider editing it out because that's the only time where it's like, okay, maybe
I think
maybe we're getting a bit
just
off
edit
track.
Ian out of the whole video. You can
Yeah,
do
that's
that,
fair.
right?
That's fair.
If only I could. Well, we didn't record a separate.
Yeah,
Audacity
no, I
track,
think
so
just
can't.
cut me, Tom, and Ruben out of the video, and then it's just you and Khan's opinion.
And then you guys can just control the narrative. Yo!
No, unironically, I actually, even if I wanted to control the narrative, I actually wouldn't want to do that because you guys actually complain and criticize a lot in this video, which I'm thankful.
No.
What do you mean no?
Okay, we need to
I mean,
redo
I'm
it
not
where
gonna-
me, Tom, and Ruben only have good things to say. But
We have to say everything that is against what Khan and Joseph say.
yeah, exactly. Okay, now we think the game is the best game ever. It's just like a masterpiece.
Oh, yo, honestly, best game in the series. Nothing else
Yeah.
even compares.
You know,
True.
red
No,
is my.
Ruben, how about you sentence mix them to say worst game ever?
You know, red is my favorite color. So Apollo Justice actually is the best.
True. Let's
Exactly.
go. Apollo Justice is actually an 11 out of 10 game, honestly. Best game of all time.
It's a
Oh, I-
69 out
Oh,
of
I
10.
agree. It's 11 out of 100. I mean, what?
Ayo, what?
Hmm.
What the fuck?
So we're all lynching Joseph, right?
True.
Should I just go for the Italian? Whatever.
Some
Okay.
boys.
For once, it's not about your race.
Oh,
Ice
that's
them
cool.
boys.
Well, that's
Put them in the drink.
freeze them.
Drink. Yeah, you'll be sleeping with the fishes.
All right.
Yeah. I'll see you there. You see you in hell. See.
Well, I mean, discussion wise, see you next time with probably Dual Destinies with a
Oh yeah.
well, mostly
First-
unanimous. Well, actually, I don't know yet because I don't know what Con thinks. I know Tom doesn't like it, and Ian.
I like it.
Ian, Ruben, and I enjoy it. So we'll, we'll have.
I mean, okay, here's the
Damn.
problem. It's been so fucking long since I started
gotta
watching
change
Dual
sides now.
Destinies. No, I need to. Practically have to rewatch it. I'm not
Here's the
going.
thing, though.
The sides are changing once again. The
Ian,
sides are changing. I don't
fucking
remember.
long.
Ian potentially.
Yeah,
look-
Joseph and I are probably gonna play it when the quarter starts. So
Yeah.
you guys
I
have
gotta-
like a month or two to catch up.
Ian, want to
I
join
don't
us
want
for
to.
that?
Yeah, actually, yes. I don't want to fucking rewatch it. I don't want to rewatch it. I already did.
I guess for Con and I, if you actually join us,
Play it this time.
we're like in the middle of case 2, so you'd have to like join up there pretty much.
That's fine.
So anyway, once Khan gets the hell out of here, I can explain my Black Cyclops Christoph Gavin theory.
All right.
Yeah, Count, get the fuck out. Go away. We don't want you here anymore.
Or you could just deafen.
Bye, son.